Hello! Hello, new board gamer, and welcome to the second video in our series of I'm learning to play a dungeon crawler, where today we move on to the second board game in our series, named Dungeons & Dragons Castle of Ravenloft. If you feel confident, and you've already watched the first video in our series, where you played Dungeons & Dragons Adventure Begins, a cooperative board game, and you feel comfortable, you are now ready to move on to the second game in our series, Dungeons & Dragons Castle Ravenloft the board game. And once you're finished this game, there's 17,000 others to play until you're finally ready to go over to your friend's house to try Gloomhaven. If this is the first video in the series you've watched, you feel ready to skip by Dungeons & Dragons Adventure Begins and move right into the next level. And maybe after 3,000 hours of playing dungeon crawlers in this series, you will be ready to accept the invite to go to your friend's house to play Gloomhaven. I know it's scary right now, but after following these tutorials, you'll eventually have the confidence to go over and learn that game without wanting to shoot yourself in the head. Thank you, and look forward to more DVDs coming in the mail in the future to continue the series. Make sure your MasterCard is updated, and we'll mail those out to you. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob, and that was all a horrible, off the top of my head, joke, sort of. Welcome. I'm Rob, and today we're playing some solo board games. If you're new to the channel, and you were looking at this game, you hopefully have not really played dungeon crawlers before. And if you're like, what the hell is a dungeon crawler, man? I just like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. Well, Dungeons and Dragons, I think, is like a dungeon crawler, right? Basically. Like RPG, crawling in dungeons. It's basically what this is, dungeon crawling board game. But it's on the lighter end. It's one of the earlier ones that I guess is popular. I don't know. Anyways. And you're like, why are you playing this, Rob? What are you doing? Well, full disclosure, here's the deal. The publisher didn't send me this game. I'm not being paid by the publisher to play it. This game I purchased not because I wanted it, just to be clear. It's because every time I mention a dungeon crawler, or which dungeon crawlers I like, or we're playing a new dungeon crawler, we've played through like Gloomhaven on the channel. We've played through Frosthaven, Jaws of the Lion, Sword and Sorcery, the first session, the second core set. We've played, I don't know, Mansion of Madness 2nd Edition, Machina Arcana, Nemesis, the board game, all these different dungeon crawling board games, and plus many others, including the best one ever, Dungeons & Dragons Adventure Begins. Yeah, we played this. Yeah. If you played any of those other games, I don't know why you'd mention this in the same breath, but for some reason, every time I mention dungeon crawlers I've played and I like this one better and I don't like that one and this thing annoys me and that thing I love, everyone seems to always want to bring these up. There's a whole series of these games, and for some reason everyone goes, Rob, but have you played the Dungeons and Dragons games? The adventure board games like Wrath of Ashardalon and Legend of Drizzt? And I say, no, I looked into those when I got in the hobby, and even then those look like kind of basic and not the highest quality board games, even back in 2010. But for some reason people keep bringing it up and say, Rob, you need to play those. Like they're quirky and they're weird and there's issues, but they're still super fun. So here I am. I spent the hard-earned money from these people to buy this game and play it for you today. So I apologize on behalf of anyone who's brought this up to me and made me look into these games. 13 or so years after they came out, I got the oldest one I could find, right? Probably the worst one of them all. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I've only played a couple times off stream. We're going to play it today. I'm not a professional with this game, just so you know. But we're going to have some fun. We're going to play it anyway. We're going to see how it goes on stream. I don't know. But there's some crazy folks out there that this is like the ultimate dungeon crawling system to them. No joke. Like recent in the last couple of years, I've read posts online of people who are obsessed with this game, own all 6 games, 7 games. I don't even know how many there are in the series. These things sell well, and they keep them in print. They're still in print. My local game store still gets stock every now and then because I see them, because I put them on my wish list when you guys say I should play these. So I'm going to try the first one. I bought this one, okay? I didn't buy any others because I was like, I'm not buying them all. I'm not going all in like some of you crazies. But yeah, we're trying this. Oh yeah, Dark Souls we played. Euthia is more like an adventure game. I don't know, that's not a dungeon crawler. There's so many. We play so many dungeon crawlers on the channel. There's like crazy ones. Like, I don't know if I mentioned like Machina or Kana or however you say that game or whatever that game was. I can't remember how you exactly say it, but that was a cool dungeon crawler. I think about that one every now and then because it was different. The rules were horrible and everything, but like the game was pretty cool. I don't know. There's other ones. I'm sure. I'm not even remembering. But yes. If you were like, Rob's playing this game and I should buy it because Rob scheduled a stream of it, please, I hope you didn't. But this might be good for you. It is a family gateway style entry level dungeon crawling game. If you're like playing with like new board gamers, this might be perfect for you, just FYI. But like if you've been around the channel any amount of time and you watch like our kind of more complex games we play, like, yeah, please, I bought this just for science. So, but I might love it and might have fun with it. So just stay tuned. Yeah, Timbo says that was like watching an old 80s commercial. Yeah, that's basically what playing this game feels like. Yeah, even though the game is like copyright 2010, came out like 2010 or 2011 or something. 2010, right? Yeah, 2010. So that's 13 years ago or more. It's been out, depending on when it came out in the year. But yeah, it feels way older than that. Feels way older. But yeah. But keep in mind, when I got into the hobby in like 2012 and I was buying up games, I was buying up ones with the FFG logo on them. And even FFG's older stuff is a little rough around the edges, but like it still was a way higher quality than what I'm presenting to you here. And this is like a reprint of the game, and I don't think they changed how they printed it. So it's still like feels very cheap and old. But yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. So we're going to have fun. We're going to play it today. We're going to see how it works. We are just playing. So please keep that in mind. I have only played the first adventure we're about to play today. Dungeon Degenerates, I wouldn't consider a dungeon crawler, right? That's more of like a adventure game, kind of like Sandbox, right? Yeah. Madara's one that we've played. Massive Darkness 2, that's correct. I don't know what else, man. We played so many of them. Zombicide, technically a whole bunch of the Zombicides we played on the channel even. Yeah. I don't know, lots of dungeon crawlers we played. For science, yes. Yeah, because this always gets brought up. These always get brought up to me. Every time I'm like talking about, like I'm mentioning fantasy games, fantasy dungeon crawlers, I always get asked, Rob, but did you ever hear of the Dungeons and Dragons adventure games? I'm sure you played those already, right? I don't know why those would get compared in all of that. I'm not sure. But don't get me wrong, like if this is like the only dungeon crawler you've played, that's awesome. That's great. That's awesome. I just feel like you might want to move on to more advanced things, unless this just does it for your group and your family. Maybe play with young kids. This could work for that. This could work for that. But anyways, enough of that. We'll talk about it after, I guess. But again, I've only played the intro scenario, the solo scenario that you're meant to play to kind of learn the game before you get friends to come over and play with them, is how it's kind of described in the book. So I'm sure they don't really play with a lot of the tokens and additional setup components and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, some more advanced rules with the tiles and traps and things. I don't know, but we're just going to play that today. I'm going to show you how this game plays with the very first adventure you're meant to play in this series. Solo, to learn it, to feel comfortable with it, which I do like the way they put that in there. They put a scenario in there and they literally say in the book, like, before you invite friends over and confuse the hell out of them because you don't know what you're doing, play this first adventure, get comfortable with it. I love that that was put in here. There are other solo scenarios, and you can play the other adventures with like 2 or 3 characters, even solo. And I'm sure the solo aspect of this game probably sold a few copies too, and that's probably why people love it a lot, because you can play it solo. But yeah. But yeah, also has the Dungeons and Dragons IP on it. So that'll sell copies, I'm sure. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people who bought this because their love for Dungeons and Dragons and their love for board gaming. And I'm sure it does great with the IP and the art and everything. But yeah, we'll see. Anyways, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna play this today. We're gonna see how it goes. And yeah, I did have a schedule. So for those watching live and like who have been following the channel over the last couple days, so this was the board game we were supposed to play with Kyle last night. Kyle unfortunately had to cancel. So I moved that stream to next week, and I was gonna play the multiplayer only and not play the solo on stream. I thought maybe I'd play solo, like one of the more advanced solos later after I feel more comfortable with it. But then since Kyle canceled and I was like, well, I've been playing the game, learning it, ready to teach him. I'm like, I feel bad. Like I said, everyone, we're going to play this new dungeon crawler on the channel, you know? And so I was like, you know what? I'll just play it myself then. And so we'll play it multiplayer next week with Mel and Kyle, play a 3-player game of it. So any of the multiplayer rules, there are some differences with monsters and all that kind of stuff. We're not going to see any of that today, obviously. We're just going to play true solo. True solo to show the basics of the game. So I'm sure we won't see, obviously we won't see, there's a whole bunch of villains, whole bunch of scenarios, adventures, and they all have different rules, different special tiles and stuff. And we're only going to see a small fraction of that today. So just keep that in mind. So how's everyone doing today? Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. TGIF. TGIF. Tomorrow we're playing Descent. That's another one. Descent, Legends of the Dark. We're playing the Betrayer's War tomorrow. That's another dungeon crawler we play on the channel. Literally playing it tomorrow. You can join us for that. I'd recommend going and watching the first episode, which you can find in the playlist section or in the live section of the channel. So I'm going to put a poll in the chat because I'm curious. Have you played any of these D&D adventure board games? I'm just curious. I'm going to start a poll. Be honest. If you're watching live, vote in the poll. I'll leave it open for a while. There are many of these games. Many. And we'll talk about that. I'll show you. Because even though you might not be able to find this one, if you watch this today and you're like, man, this would work great with my kids. Or these gamers that I play like Uno with, and I want to teach them a little more stuff that I like, you know? You want to get them into the fantasy stuff, kind of pull them on into the hobby a little deeper, you know? This might be perfect. But this was the first one in the series. I believe they're all probably being designed around the same time. They're all compatible with each other. And if you ask some people, it's only a trilogy. If you ask other people, there's still games coming out even up until today. But they're published by Wizards of the Coast, those who own the Dungeons and Dragons license, which I believe are owned by Hasbro. I think still, I'm not sure. But this is the first one in the series. It's a 2.5 complexity, okay? Not the lightest thing we've played on the channel, surprisingly. I was kind of surprised when I looked that up. I was like, oh yeah, I guess it's got more meat on it. Like the rule set's not too complicated. But yeah, it does have some timing and stuff you have to keep track of. It's not super light. Like there's definitely lighter games to play with new gamers for sure. Only takes 60 minutes supposedly. Best with 4 players. Sorry guys. We're definitely not seeing it as the best light today, according to the community. But I just want to show you guys, if you go down here and you click this, which I did open another tab, but then I accidentally closed it, so we'll have to click it again. But if you want to look at the Dungeons and Dragons Adventure System board games, so if you're like, you don't even know what I'm talking about in the poll, like, have you played them or not? Have you played any of these ones? Wrath of Ashardalon, Legends of Drizzt, or the one we're playing today, Council Ravenloft. Those are the trilogy that all came out within like a 2-year span. They're all compatible. They have multiple heroes you can mix, tiles, components. I don't know. I think you can even do, there's a campaign system in one of them or something that you can like add, and yeah. Again, we'll see how it goes. If you guys like these, I don't mind exploring more and playing more adventures in it for fun, especially solo. Like it's not that complex, so we can chill, have fun on stream, the stress of a stream running, assuming I'm not muted this whole time, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, it'd be fun. But there are other ones. So WizKids, I guess, started publishing a bunch of them. So they have like, I guess we can do this. See all 13. And maybe link them by rank or sort them by rank. So according to this, Legends of Drizzt on BoardGameGeek.com is like the best one at 842 ranked overall. We're playing the second best one. Okay, the first one in the series though. So that came out in 2010. Oh, and then 2 of them came out in 2011. Oh, they were really, so this must have sold like hotcakes, and they were like, all right, like we need to make 2 games next year. Let's go, go, go. It sold so well, let's just make 2 of them. And since we already did all the work once, and we just need to literally slap some new art on some cards and sell the same game again, we'll just print 2 more. I don't know. I've never played them. I'm just trolling. But supposedly they're super compatible and very similar with just a few rules tweaks. But WizKids made these ones. The Temple of Elemental Evil in 2015. So it's like they got the license like 4 years later or whatever and decided to do their own versions. Tomb of Annihilation. Waterdeep, Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I don't know. Oh, and this one too. 2021, I think was the last one, right? Ghosts of Saltmarsh board game. So these are all use like the same rules, same components, same graphic design, layout, templating, all that stuff is my understanding, except for they're published by WizKids. And I think because, and I think this is why it's perfect. Maybe they all were made by WizKids. I don't know. But anyways, because the requirement for these games was to make something very reasonably priced, to use like the cheapest card stock and cardboard, and like, you know, the art is kind of like, you know, and there's like nothing really happening on the cards other than some text. It's a very low quality game, and I think that's perfect, and why WizKids is a really good publisher to then make a whole bunch more, because it's super easy for them. If it's like a very poor quality game, like component wise, WizKids, that's what they do best. Make very poor quality component miniatures, games, all that stuff. So they're the perfect publisher for it. So they supposedly continued it. I don't know if I'll ever play all of them, but they're there. But these ones supposedly, every time I looked it up, these ones are the ones you want to look at though. These ones published by Wizards of the Coast. I don't know who currently makes them and prints them, but these 3 are like the holy trinity. The rest, I never really read anyone talking about you should buy these ones. I don't know why. But that's just letting you know what I've read. Anyways. So yeah. Dragon Shadow says some good cheap minis to practice painting also. That is true. That is true. Are they worth painting? I don't know, but to practice on, because you don't care that much, that's a good idea, yeah. Karma Witch says Legends of Drizzt was the best in my honest opinion, which is the highest rated one, actually. That's the highest rated one. I could have bought all of them. I could have picked from any 3 of the original 3 to start with. But I was like, man, I'm going to go for the original. Again, I don't know if I made the right choice. I hope it doesn't make me not like them because of what the first one did, and maybe the next ones are so much better. But I'm okay to understand this is the first one, right? So the people get it, they complain about stuff, and the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth, they kind of change things to please the player base who gets it maybe. I don't know. So I'm okay if like, I like this one okay, and you guys tell me, Rob, the second one or the third one, the Legend of Drizzt or whatever, is so much better. I am okay. This will not ruin it for me. I will still try that one. But I know like supposedly the rules are 95% the same. It's just they kind of add different location, bad guys, heroes, theme, all that stuff, different conditions and things. Yeah. So anyways, just letting you know why it's on the channel, being open and honest. There you go. So again, thank you for supporting the channel, Patreons, YouTube members, all that stuff, allowing me to buy games like this that are not the new hotness, trying to chase the next big Kickstarter game. This game feels like it was on a Kickstarter project. If Kickstarter was a hot thing in board gaming in 2010, this would be something that came from that, is how it feels. But take that for what you will. But yeah, it's reasonably priced. I could still find them. They still come in stock at my local game stores. And yeah, we'll see. But I'm curious. I want your thoughts, honest thoughts, as a fan of this channel. about these games, maybe at the end of the stream when we're talking about it a bit more after we've played it, and make sure that I actually am playing it right. Maybe I've been doing stuff wrong, because when you play off camera, this is something you may not know, you play games really wrong. All of you do. We all do. But then when you play on the internet and everyone's watching you, pausing, rewinding, bird's eye view of the whole game on the table, they'll catch your mistakes. They'll catch them. And some of them will even act like they never make mistakes. So just so you know, we're going to make mistakes. Drop them in the comments below if you're watching later. If you're watching live, yell at me if there's something you think I'm doing wrong. And we'll figure it out live, which should be fun. Kate, hello. Yogi Bear says, you play it perfect and chat is always wrong. No, chat is wrong like only like 5 to 10% of the time. And half the time when I think they're wrong, it's just somebody asking a question without a question mark. I think it works like this. You're wrong. And it's like they're kind of just asking like, I think, like I'm not sure. And then I'm like, you're wrong. Horrible. Get out of here. All right, I'm going to scroll back in the chat. I've missed a bunch of the chat messages. It's kind of scrolling pretty quick. I appreciate everyone being here. Thanks to all 23 of you out of 60 plus who've clicked the like button. I'm just kidding. You don't have to click the like button, especially if you don't want me playing this game on the channel. If you don't want me playing this game on the channel, click the dislike button or no like button. That's your best way to help it not be seen by other people and to let me know when I do look at the likes. I know it's like, man, nobody wants to see me play this. But if you do want to see me play more of this, multiplayer, solo, whatever on the channel, then you hit the like button, because then other people find it. YouTube shares it to other people looking up similar videos. And then I see the numbers get higher. And then I'm like, man, people want me to play this. And that's how you get me to play more of the games you love. There you go. Or watching me play the games you hate because you think that's funny too. It's however you want to do it. However you want to do it. All right. So Frederick says, only missing this one and Temple of Elemental Evil in the series of crappy games. But I love them for a quick dungeon fix. And that's exactly what I love to hear. Because that's the way I feel like they are perfect for. But it just bothered me every time I bring it up. And I don't remember the exact situations. I'm sure it was during live streams. I'm sure it was talking in Discord and stuff. Somebody would always mention when I'm started talking about dungeon crawling games. People are like, but why don't you mention these ones? It's like, well, I've never played them. I look them up and I'm like, they don't look interesting to me. I'm just being honest. They can be fun and all. It's just like in my opinion and my taste is like, who cares, right? Who cares? Don't take it too seriously, please. But there's still some cool stuff here. There's still some cool stuff. We're gonna have fun with it. Let's see. Oh, Edward, yeah, I was thinking of doing this, saving this for like April Fool's, like, all right, we're finally playing Dungeons and Dragons thing, but that's getting old. I got to stop doing that, right? Like, you know, we're finally ready to play D&D, and this is what we're playing. No, this is more like we're gonna play, you know, gamer's first dungeon crawler, and see how it goes. Karma Witch says never bought Ravenloft, bought Dungeons and Dragons: Legend of the Drizzt board game though. Quite love that one. I wonder what's different about it other than, is it just the setting? Did they polish up a bit of rules? Does it have like cooler heroes in it? Like, what is the deal there? Oh man, I can't even scroll back that far actually in chat. Thank you guys for chatting so much. Anyways. Oh, Marav says, we'll click like if the stream is long enough. All right, I'll drag it out. We'll start playing this in probably about an hour and a half. Just for you. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Brian Van Beek says, yes, these are great, fun, /quick, /easy dungeon romps that I still love playing. Yeah, and there's something about that, right? Like being able to literally print, like there are how to what do you call them? People's like custom like quick reference rule sheets that they made literally on an 8.5 by 11 paper. And it just fills the paper with like, here's all you need to know to remind you how the game works when you pull it out a year later. And it like will click, you know? So it's like, there's something said about a simplistic rule set and a decently quick setup and still get that feeling of like going through a dungeon and killing, you know, baddies and trying to race to the end, you know? So Drizzt87 says better characters. I see. I see. I can't. I don't know, Drizzt87, if I can trust you telling me anything about the Legend of Drizzt, because you might be biased. So I'm getting that vibe. So I gotta watch what you say. I can't trust you if you start saying that game's the better one or anything. Just kidding. It's Drizzt, the most badass character in D&D ever. Oh, okay. I don't know anything of this. I'm a D&D noob, guys. Just keep that in mind, right? I'm a D&D noob. I never played. I don't know, like, I know some stuff, like, just from playing other games and things, but I did watch the D&D movie, but I don't know if that really taught me anything, but it was funny. Oh, Frederick says WizKids has added some mechanics that makes the game more complete. But then how come nobody talks about those ones, you know? To this day, nobody talks about those ones. Nobody says go buy those instead. They're better. Don't even touch these ones. Like, these are still in print. Like, these first 3 are still in print. You can still find them. They still come back in stock. People still talk about them to this day. It's weird. Very weird. Like, usually in this hobby, once like a newer version comes out of something that like improves it, then people are like, forget the old one, and then it just it dies, right? It just goes away. No, Brian Walbridge, I will D&D, no. We'll never play it. We'll never play it. I could see that being a thing if we're like, you know, it's like, all right, whatever I got to do, we're like getting close to the 100,000 subscriber mark at some point in the next 30 years. And then that's like what I need to like push me over. Like I do some kind of stretch goal thing and we just like push it, you know. I don't know if there's enough money to make me do it. I don't know. Call of Cthulhu RPG instead of D&D. There are so many RPGs. There's probably other ones I'd probably play instead of just basic D&D, right? Because like it's IP that drives me a lot into things. Like if I like the IP, and pretty much there's an RPG of every single cool IP I can think of. So, yeah. Ah, finally we have a number. Let's go, everyone. No, Kate, no. I'm just talking out of thin air. That was just made up. No, there's no number. I should have said something much higher. Close to the end of time. Yeah. Doesn't... all right. You guys are horrible. All right. Anyways, yeah. So we have a rule book and we have an adventure book. The rule book will teach you the rules. The adventure book, though, is the thing that I care more about is, and I knew nothing when I bought this, by the way. I knew nothing. I literally looked up and saw it was like kind of an entry-level dungeon crawler, and I was like, all right, I'm buying it. I'm buying it. I don't care. I added it to the wish list like 3 or 4 years ago when people first started mentioning them to me. And then I was like, one of these days I'll order one of them and play it. And I was in the mood, okay? I bought this like a month ago. And I'm like, I'm in the mood. But then I opened this and was like, oh, I see. I thought it was way more basic. But it actually has the different adventures, which is cool. Each adventure has its own like little story entries to read. Has its own goals, its own special setup using special components. Like there are like 1,000 tiles. Okay, they're all the same shape, and they all just kind of click together randomly. But there are special tiles, for example, that might be needed to be pulled out of the stack for certain scenarios, which we have to do that today. And you put those into the randomly shuffled stack. Karma Witch, thank you so much for the super chat. For Rob to start getting into D&D for real, I'd like to see him stream in full heavy armor. I can do the full heavy armor thing, no problem, on any day of the week. I just don't have the armor. Yeah, I don't need to play D&D to dress up, but yeah. I don't know. Yeah, you can't bribe me. I'm sorry. Or I'll just keep trolling. I'm playing D&D today, guys. Look, this is it right here. Right here. I'm playing D&D right now. So yeah, there's things like the workshop. Like this might mean something in a certain scenario, but for now, all these tiles are just in here. but they could matter, and you build this stack based on some setup, based on the adventure. You might use a specific villain. There's like specific villains in the game that come with little miniatures. Like we have young vampire, we have zombie dragons, like, you know, and they have their own minis. Okay, here's the biggest mini in the box. Okay, it's a big zombie dragon. No, they're not painted. I don't know if we'll like it enough to paint it, but we'll see. We'll see. You know, there's that other villain. Okay, so it comes with miniatures, a whole bunch of them. I was kind of surprised about how many miniatures until I saw the box. And I was like, oh yeah, it's a big box. I expected minis, but yeah. So a whole bunch of minis. There's more. I just don't have them all in my hand. But yeah, they even have them like different colors, which is nice. So if you don't paint, at least some of them will stand out on stream a little bit more than others. So that's good. Okay. And even based on the scenario, you might have specific encounters. You might have specific, there's like items and things that you might use other components. Yeah, but there's a whole bunch of adventures. Whole bunch of adventures. 13, I think. Yeah, there's 13 adventures. They're all standalone. Yeah, they're all standalone. And I think they work up in like kind of difficulty or complexity at least. But we're going to be playing Adventure 1, which is solo only, one hero. Okay, we're going to escape the tomb. A hero alone in the dungeon crypts must escape before the sun sets and Strahd returns. So he's like the big bad guy. Okay, goal is to find the secret stairway tile that leads out of the dungeon before Strahd defeats you. The adventure setup, it tells you what components to grab. So this is super basic, but like I was peeking ahead. I'll show you something. Like look at this adventure setup. Look at all the amount of components you got to pull out of the game box and set them aside for the setup of this scenario. Like, I love the way they just kind of put them with commas after everything. There's like 1,000 things in there. Okay. So, and they're like special setup and stuff. Okay. So, just so you know, we're playing like the most basic of basic scenarios. We can only go up from here. So please don't judge this game. You know, if you just want to judge it based on the core mechanics, you'll get that today. But if you want to judge it based on like how the designers kind of made it seem very interesting and replayable, you're probably going to have to see or try yourself one of the other adventures. And I don't know what the best one in here is. That's what I probably should be asking. You know, after we play the scenario 1, which they recommend to play when you're learning the game solo before you teach other players. There's scenario 2, which they recommend if you have 2 to 5 players at the table. They say play scenario adventure 2 because it's super basic and will teach a group of people and ease them into the game. Okay, it's like more simplified. They say play those 2 before venturing out into the other ones, you know? Okay, so yeah, there's a whole bunch in here. Blackstone Fortress. Which one's that? Yogi, which adventure? Hunt for Strahd. Hunt for Strahd part 1 and 2 are like the final ones. Yeah. Joe Huddleston says, every time I walk by these games at my FLGS, I'm tempted to pick one up. Yeah, I can see why. I know why, Joe. Because they're in a huge box, okay? A super thick box. They have beautiful art on them. They're they look, you know, they look like they're jumping off the shelf. They look like they go out good on your Kallax with your other dungeon crawling fantasy board games. And that's why you want to grab one. The presentation of them, it does look like it's like, oh, I need to have that. But it's what's in the box that matters, okay? Okay. And we'll find out. But yeah, I can see why. I can see why. Especially the one with the big red dragon on it. Man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I kind of want to buy it just because of the way the box looks. I'll be honest. I wanted to buy that one just because of the dragon mini in it. But I was like, no, I'll start at the first one. I'll start at the first one. So the rule book, for those that are curious, It is just 15 pages, and some of the pages are mainly just art. They even have an FAQ on the back, which I did not read all of, so maybe I should have, because there might be stuff. The whole thing is described. Like this is all the rules are in like 14 pages or less. Okay? Just so you know, this is what we're getting into. So I always kind of judge like how frustrating the game is going to be on how, or like to learn, and how complex it's going to be, or how hard it's going to be teaching it, just based on the page number in the rule book's a good indicator on what you're getting into. Do pages in the rule book correlate to complexity ratings on PGG? Maybe. I don't know. I've never really checked, but just so you know, the whole rule book for this thing is like 14-ish pages. Okay? That's what we're playing with today. Just so you know. You keep that one nearby. Okay. All right. So, oh yeah, and if any of this little stuff bothers you on the table, I vacuumed the table, but these components, they're gonna shed all over the place, you know, because of the amazing quality. Okay. How does the game play? Okay, I'll show you. They have reference cards, okay? Already, this is better than some like $300 all-in Kickstarters I bought. Like, this already has better helping material to get into the game. Yeah. So obviously, watching this playthrough, you'll get the whole game, how it works. But here it is for you. This is like the easiest way I can show you. So on your turn, you'll complete these phases in order. You do a hero phase. Hero phase is described right here. If you're lying on your ass and you're at 0 hit points, you spend a healing surge, you get up. And you get up not at your full health. Okay? And healing surges are limited to 2 per playthrough, no matter how many players you're playing with. And once both those are gone, and if a hero needs to heal at the start of the turn, you lose. Everyone loses if there is not a healing surge to heal back up. Okay? So they're like your 2 fail tokens. And yes, one player can die twice and use them both up, and that player can die again, and then you don't invite that player over ever again because they ruined it for all of you. I'm just kidding. But if you want to increase the difficulty, play with less healing surges. If you want to increase it, you play with more. That's these big fat tokens right here. Okay? Healing surge. Healing surgerino. Okay? All right. So that's kind of like helps you understand the failure of the game, how you fail. Okay? Step 2. If you are up and not on your butt laying down because you got knocked out, you perform one of the following. There's a lot to choose on this turn. You can move and then make an attack, or you can attack and then make a move, or you can make 2 moves. I don't know if you're allowed to just attack and do nothing else. I don't know if you're allowed to just move once and do nothing else, because it doesn't tell you you can. So honestly, I do it because I just think I can, because of all the games I play, you can kind of not spend actions if you don't want to. But according to this, you have 3 options on your turn. I'm assuming you can move for 0 spaces if you want, you know? But I'm not sure if that's a thing. Then, moving 0 spaces is still moving, in your opinion? Okay. So, after we're done moving, we will go to number 2, exploration phase. If your hero occupies basically an edge of a tile, you're exploring. So you're going to reveal a random tile and attach it like a puzzle to the edge that you're standing against of the tile. If you draw a new tile and it has a black arrow, you will also be in the villain phase drawing an exploration card, or sorry, an encounter card. If you're not at the edge of a tile and you're not exploring and you're not expanding the map, you will also have to draw an encounter card in the villain phase to kind of give you some pressure to make things are still bad for you and things are still progressing. Okay. But if you were on the edge, you'll draw a dungeon tile. And on every single dungeon tile, I'm 99% sure all the dungeon tiles, I've not seen one without one, but every single dungeon tile will have a pile of skulls on it. And on that pile of skulls, you will spawn a monster. And for some reason, they thought players would enjoy this. You draw a monster and you literally put it on the tile you've just attached next to you with the arrow on the tile, pointing towards you. Okay, every tile has an arrow. You spawn that monster right away, right? Right here. Draw a monster card, place a monster on the new tile. Then you go to step 3 villain phase, and it talks about the encounter cards. And if you have a villain, which are kind of like the mini and main bosses of the game, they're not the regular like baddies. Okay, you have to activate the villain, no matter when the villain showed up. But all the rest of the monsters you activate in step 3, and you activate them in the order they came into play, basically. So you'll have a bunch of cards listed in order. So that is correct. Super fun that you draw a tile. So as you explore, you will 100% find a monster, and 100% that monster will activate right away, standing basically right beside you. But if you don't expand the map, they will keep drawing encounter cards, and those encounter cards are horrendous, and they will keep doing bad things to you. And even sometimes when you explore, you will still be forced to draw an encounter card because of a black triangle on the tile and draw a monster and activate it. And you can't react very rarely. So in some games, let's say another gateway dungeon crawler I'd talked about before was any of the Zombicide series, right? At least in those ones, the zombies, yeah, they can come out of the loot, but they spawn at spawn points. You kind of know where they are, you know what you're getting into, where you move around the map. This, you have no choice. You're going to draw a monster, whether you like it or not. Every single time you expand, there's a monster hiding in the shadows in every shadow. FYI. Unless I'm doing something wrong. It's very weird. But there you go. Yeah. There's always... This is one of those dungeon crawlers, and I think I see why Descent 2nd Edition, the way people complained about when that game added an app, it just felt like a race game where everything was just pushing you and you had to just race your way through the scenario. And it was all just became a race game. I feel like it might have been doing something like this, where this is kind of designed to keep pushing you. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? But that's how the game rolls. And you just keep going, doing that over and over until you've reached your goal, depending on the scenario. Special setup, special goal, special rules, all that stuff. But that's the basics. This is the basics, okay? I'll throw these here. RV says, I played one of these solo, but I forget which one. It didn't grab me, but I don't exactly know why. Maybe because you played more advanced dungeon crawlers and there's like more choice, more decisions to them and stuff. And maybe a little less luck. I don't know, a little less randomness. I'm not sure. But they all have like this kind of stuff to them. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, I can't leave that poll up for too long because you guys are going to help me decide which one of the 5, but I can only put 4 in a YouTube poll. Which hero are we going to play with? They have a level 1 side and a level 2 side, so we might get lucky and we could level up. But I doubt it. I've never seen that happen before. In my couple playthroughs I've done of it. I've also never had a trap show up in the game. So when that comes in the game, I will have to look up the rules for that. Because I never had that happen in my 2 practice games. Just FYI. I've not seen traps yet. I think I know how traps work, but we'll look it up. So we have a human ranger. Actually, I can read. Here, let me just eliminate one. Someone tell me one to eliminate that is the worst one. First person to tell me the worst one that has played this game before, we're not going to pick it as an option. Or maybe the worst one to play solo or something. I don't know. I'm not even going to say what they are, because if somebody knows the game and just thinks there's one that we shouldn't put in our poll, because we can only put 4 in the poll. Justin says, Wizard for solo seems bad. Cleric would be good for solo, lots of heals. Robert's a trap, says Leia. Get rid of Imriel. Okay, so we're getting rid of the Wizard. Aw, okay. I haven't played with the Wizard. When I played with these 2 to try them out. But again, was I playing them correctly? Did I remember to draw treasure cards every time I killed an enemy? No. Did I remember that I could cancel encounter cards by spending experience? No. I kept forgetting every single game. I maybe did it one time. So again, anyone who knows the game, I'll show you that at some point. But remind me that I can spend 5 experience from the corpses of the dead monsters to cancel those horrible event cards. Or if I ever get the chance to level up, which I kept thinking would happen, but I've never seen that happen yet. Yeah, remind me that way I can cancel encounter cards. That is a thing, okay? So when I draw a horrible encounter card from here, anyone who's watching, ask yourself, should we cancel this one? Okay? Remind me, okay? I may have made the game much harder on myself. But yeah, okay, so I'll put these 4 in a poll and I'll read them. So I'm going to close the other poll and we'll check the results of that. So I asked earlier, have you played any of these D&D adventure board games? 60% say no. Thank you, everyone that voted. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so 60% of you have never played any of these games. I'll keep that in mind as I go through this. But there are people in the chat for sure, 40%-ish that voted who have played these before. So feel free to help me out if we're getting something wrong. Feel free to answer questions that people are asking about these games in the chat. Help them understand why they're so beloved. All appreciated. Okay, so I'm going to put a new poll in the chat. Which class? Okay. Dwarf, cleric, human, rogue, human ranger. And again, you can vote in the poll, even if you've never played, if you're just like, I'll read what each description is of them, but we're not going to look at their cards or anything. You can, they each have many cards to choose from, like many weapons and abilities. And then once you pick one, you can choose, you know, every time you play, you can play with a different combination of weapons and powers and stuff, which is kind of cool. We'll just pick the basic ones that they recommend in here. If this is your first game, use these hero powers. So again, if you're like intimidated, you're first learning this game and you're like, I don't know which cards to pick. They have a list right here, which I love. So you don't have to deck build and feel not confident drafting your character. And then the other one is Dragonborn Fighter. Okay. Dragonborn Fighter. Okay. The poll is in the live chat. The first option on the poll is Thorgrim, the Dwarf Cleric. You are a champion of the Dwarven gods sent to eradicate the evil deep inside Castle Ravenloft. Okay, this is basically your armor class, it's called, 16. The enemy rolls higher than that with their bonuses and all that jazz. We get hit harder. This is our starting HP we can heal up to. This is how many movement points we have. And when we use one of those healing surges and we come back to life or whatever, we get back up. This is how much HP we'll earn back. So you don't get up back to full health. You only get 4, okay? They have abilities, and then they tell you how many cards you can pick if you're building your own little starting power deck, okay? The second one in the poll is Cat, the human rogue. You are stealthy and sneaky and a master of sudden strikes and quick escapes. You laugh at danger and have come to Castle Ravenloft to satisfy your curiosity and acquire treasure. 14 armor class. Is that the same? No, it's 2 less. So she's a little more squishy, has 8 HP, can move a little faster at 6, and 4 HP on the revive. She's a trap expert. But again, if you don't see traps in the playthrough, that sucks. I don't know. And this guy, what's his ability? You know healing techniques. At the end of your hero phase, if you did not attack, one other hero on your tile regains 1 hit point. Okay, that's great for solo. Now I see why people don't say it's best solo. Alyssa, Human Ranger. You are a master of bow and blade with keen senses and dungeon skills. You are determined to stop the evil of Castle Ravenloft. 15 armor class, 8 HP, 6 speed, 4 on the revive. Scout, you are a master explorer. During your exploration phase, you can explore 1 unexplored edge on your tile, even if you aren't adjacent to it. So I assume that would allow battle, and you have come to drive evil out of the ruins of Castle Ravenloft. 17 armor class, 10 HP, 5 speed, comes back at 5 HP. Okay, this guy's a meaty boy. He might be good for solo just based on those stats, right? To take a few more hits, because there's nobody else playing to take the hits for us. You protect your friends. While another hero is on the same tile as you, he or she gains +1 bonus to armor class. Okay, that's great for solo. Perfect. When another hero is on our tile. And I mean true solo. Obviously, I could play with 2 heroes, but we're not going to today. Because the scenario says we're not allowed, okay? We're not allowed. But yeah. That's your options. Go ahead and vote in the poll, and the majority will just play that one, and then we'll grab the cards based on this. And while you're voting, I'm going to look at the back and see if there's an answer to this ability on the Alyssa, the Human Ranger. Oh, I did read some of these. I remember. I don't see it. No, I don't see it. It's okay. Dragon Shadow says, gotta play 2-hand when soloing. No, you're not allowed. Only on other scenarios. All the heroes, if you can't trick any friends to come over and play with you. Okay? Says it right there. Oh, audio skipping a bit? This says? I don't know why. It looks good on my end. Says? Oh, it's ISP shenanigans? Oh, okay. Yeah, no drop frames or anything. Mike's not being weird. Okay. Yeah, no drop frames on my end, guys. And also my back end here, my backside, I mean on the back end, on YouTube is not giving me any errors. So it's between you and YouTube, maybe. Try switching the quality too. Like if you're watching on a 1080p screen, change it to like 1440p. Or if you're watching on 1440p, drop it down to 1080p or 720p or something. Just play around with the different quality streams, because sometimes their encoding of one versus another is not as good or is broken. Also, if you're using some YouTube apps allow you to change the encoding. You can switch between like AV1, VP9, MP4, or whatever. And maybe one of those feeds will work better for you. Whatever you can see in your YouTube. I don't know. Maybe on consoles it's like different too. I don't know. TVs, Android sticks and stuff. Okay. Yeah, but again, if your internet can't handle like the 1080p or 1440p, you could pause it for a sec and watch like, 30 seconds behind to let it buffer more, or you can just switch the quality to actually lower it, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm not going to lower my bitrate, guys. Sorry. It makes too nice of a video later, having a nice high juicy bitrate. Okay. So if you can't handle live, you need to buy a better device and better internet. I'm sorry. Or drop the quality. Okay. All right. Let's close the poll. Yogi, the fact that you're able to watch me like from Australia to Canada across a giant body of water, like let's just be happy, that like at least you're here and it's working most of the time. Okay. Oh, is YouTube struggling today? I did have an error earlier, actually, before the stream started, like an hour before when I was setting up the stream. I was getting an error with like the alert stuff connecting to YouTube. And I thought I'd have to turn off alerts. So there is something going on there. You're right. You are right. Okay, let's close the poll. And pick our character. Human Ranger, 33%. All right, I have a little experience with Human Ranger. It is the one with the only ability that doesn't suck at solo, so I appreciate it. Thank you. 28% one of the Dragonborn fighter. That's the first one I played with because it was like, man, it's a dragon, like a Dragonborn, right? That's sick. Why not? The stats, yeah, this is the stats would be probably better for solo. I did have an easier time with this one, I think. But again, I don't know if I was playing 100% correct in that game either. All right. Now, I'm going to do something a little different. There are minis. There are minis for all these guys. But I was planning yesterday for like a multiplayer stream. And we don't have these painted at all. And I don't know if we ever should. That's up to Mel, I guess, if she wants to paint them on stream or something for fun with you guys. But again, it's like such an old game. I don't know if anyone would care. But they come with these minis, but they're like really dark, and like when we're playing multiplayer and they're all on the table, like far away on screen, you know, like, can you tell which one is which? Not really, right? So that's when I got this game out. So I grabbed this game because I realized like they have a lot of the same classes, right, to start with. Like this game is obviously built on the same system, but like way simpler, you know? So then I grabbed the minis for that. So in there, the coolest thing ever, they actually have the Ranger in that one is like a green Ranger, which matches the color of this, you know? And the dwarf is yellow. And there's like a yellow dwarf miniature with an axe and everything. So this will help us on our multiplayer stream be able to tell them apart. So I'm just going to play with this from that other game. Obviously, anyone who plays D&D and all that stuff, you guys are used to just pulling miniatures out of whichever game and like playing with them and stuff, which I was a little jelly about. But now I've bought enough games that I have minis to spare that I can use in different games. So we'll play with this mini, not included in the box, okay? Batteries not included. Joe says, wrong minis, game is ruined. Hacks, hacks. I broke the internet by putting different miniatures in my board game. I ruined it. How dare I? Okay, so we don't need, obviously, any of these other ability cards for today's stream. But again, stay tuned when we play this game multiplayer next week, hopefully. Or whenever Kyle can come next. We're going to play with him and check it out in multiplayer format. A whole different adventure. So stay tuned for that. We'll play with 3 different characters together. I'll let them pick their characters, though. Okay, so I need the book again, because we're going to pick based on the recommended Ranger, careful attack. Careful attack. I'll explain what these things are. These cards, we'll take a look at them. Hunter shot. Okay, hunter shot. I lose where I am. Bounding attack and unbalanced parry. Okay, so just to show we're not playing with any of these cards. And again, you have to follow the rules here. When building your character, I can pick like 1 utility, 2 at will, and 1 daily. No problem. And that's part of the fun. So if like I knew what I was doing, and I don't ever know what I'm doing, I would sit here with you guys and we kind of read them all and pick which ones we want to play. Depending on the adventure, you might build your character a certain way. So there is some customization, which I do appreciate now. I did not expect from this game at all. You know, I expect this game just to have abilities on the character sheet, and that's what you play with. And no, but you have choice. You can play with different weapons, different combos, different builds, different one-use powers. But this is the recommended build, they say, when you're first playing the game, probably because these are simple. So this is another way the game might seem a little boring, because I'm just playing with the most basic stuff they recommend. But just showing you guys, like, it does get a little more advanced, which is fun, and more replayable, which is cool. So they give you at-will powers. At-will powers are basically reusable. They sit their face up. They're your ongoing weapons, okay? So on my turn, you know when we're supposed to attack, then move, or move, then attack, or whatever? We could choose one of these. So we have a careful attack, where you study your enemy, looking for a gap in its defenses. Only when you find it do you strike. 1 adjacent monster takes 1 damage. Okay, that card seems broken, especially in solo. because I'm a ranger. I should only be able to like really hit things far away, but my bow actually kind of sucks, and my knife is better. So, and they just stay face up, and I can choose on my turn which one I want to use. This one is the hunter shot. You take aim at your prey and fire your bow. Attack one monster within 2 tiles of you. Once we get a few tiles out, I'll kind of show you how tiles and spaces and movement works and stuff like that. If you miss and the monster is more than 1 tile away from you, place it 1 tile closer to you. So these numbers here, okay, basically you're going to roll and then add this bonus to your roll. And if it's higher, equal to or higher than the armor class on the enemy, you do this much damage, okay? And you'll see that as we play through. You have daily powers. I guess this takes over place over 1 day, so you have a daily power. This is a one-time use, and it tells you flip the card over after you use the power. Okay, this one is place your hero on a tile within 1 tile of you. Then you get to attack 1 adjacent monster. Now, this is instead of your normal attack, because it is an attack. So I could choose to use this instead of one of these, but once I use it once, it gets flipped over. There are treasure cards that do let you flip these back over, I've seen. So, yeah. We might want to use it as soon as we feel it's useful so that we have a chance to flip it back over, maybe get to use it again. And then there's also utility powers, which are not attacks, and they are one-time use. You do flip them over. This one says, use this power when an adjacent monster hits you. The attack misses instead, and place that monster on a tile within 1 tile of you. So we could do an unbalancing parry, and then you just flip it over, and it's used for the rest of the game until if you find a treasure that lets you flip it back over. Okay? Because they're just so powerful, they're one-time use. Move a monster closer is the weirdest rule. Don't get me started on the weird rules yet. Quit jumping ahead, RV. All right. So, that's our character setup. Done. But again, we could sit here for 30 minutes going through card options and combos and reading them all. We're not going to do that today. I already know how to drag out the start of a stream. I don't need to do it anymore, okay? All right. So, what else do we need to do? We already have our adventure, so we don't need to figure that out. We shuffle the monster cards. Okay, let's go through the setup. So we got monster cards. Okay, there's a whole bunch of monster cards. There are duplicates. Okay, if in solo you draw a duplicate, or I guess also in multiplayer, if you draw a duplicate that's you already have that monster in play, you just discard it and draw a different monster card. Okay. But on monsters, actually we'll see one shortly. Yeah, let's go through stuff as it comes out. Here's the encounter cards. They're horrible. In here, actually, I'll show some of these though, because there are different ones. We may not see them all. But we'll see monster, like one monster is the same as the next monster kind of thing. Like, so this is an event attack. So when encounter cards drawn, they could do a one-time kind of bad thing, and they're red. There's traps that are blue. They add little tokens to the board. You put the card in play. It does something that affects the tile, hurts the heroes. You can disable them, and they do discard themselves sometimes. Then there's also just straight events that just come out, do something horrible or not as horrible if you roll good. And they just go to the discard pile and they're gone. And then there is environments that come into play. They kind of add an over-looming effect to the game. And there can only ever be one of these in play, and it will tell you on them to discard a previous one and replace it with the new environment if you have another one come up. And I think that's all of them that are in here possible. So just letting you know like what's in the game, what's possible, but like they're all different. Look at them. There's tons. And I've seen a very few technically, right? And again, we can cancel them by spending 5 experience. I guess I should show you on a monster card. How do you gain experience? By killing monsters. You keep the card after, you keep their carcass as a trophy, and they're worth different experience, and you can spend that experience to level up or to cancel encounter cards, okay? I'll shuffle that again in a sec. So it tells me to shuffle the encounter cards, shuffle the monster cards. Okay, shuffle the treasure cards. Now treasure, it could be, you could see items that you can get in play and it can beef you up. We're actually supposed to draw a random one at the start, I think. which I forgot in my first playthrough. And then there could be things that just come out and they're like a fortune. They're just like kind of a one-time thing. There's blessings are a thing. If I can find one. And blessings could come out. And they tell you when to play them. They tell you what they do. They tell you when to discard them, hold them, use them instead of an attack. They are an attack. They usually are very clear from what I've seen. They just kind of explain themselves. They're super straightforward. Also, they have beautiful art on all the cards that you've seen so far. You know, it's great how they commissioned art for these cards. They're super beautiful. Lots of stuff going on the cards. Just kidding. Cost effective. Okay, that's the term we're going to use. Cost effective. RV says, I think Ravenloft is the one that added a bunch of campaign and progression stuff. No, Ravenloft was the very first one. I'm playing the very first one, and I don't think there's any campaign stuff that I've seen in here. I haven't read the adventure book like word for word, but like just flipping through it, I don't see campaign rules anywhere. That's probably in one of the later ones, like a Charlon or Drizzt. But yeah. Sarcasm detected. What are you talking about? Okay, all right, that's shuffled. Okay, next we got our reference card done. Okay, monster tiles, we need to shuffle these bad boys, or sorry, the yeah, we do. Well, I guess we got to set them up specifically to the scenario, but let's just mix them up. Okay, I don't know. Like, how do you shuffle giant stack of tiles? I don't know. And yes, I already pulled out the two we need for the scenario. So I didn't mess that up so far. Okay. Sure. So there you go. As part of the randomization, we got a big stack of tiles. Okay. I got monster, villain, hero figures. They're all easy within reach. The game comes with like 1,000 components. I just threw them all in these little tubs here. I got like tokens depending on different scenarios, and item tokens. I don't know what they do. Time tokens. I don't know what they do. We have HP markers, which we need to add onto our hero. Our hero has 8 HP. So they have 5 HP tokens. They have single HP tokens. I don't know why I've mixed them all up, it seems. Serenity now. Okay. We also have condition tokens that are over here. So I have one for when we're slowed, one for when we're immobilized. The rules are on them. And if you're not sure what kind of tokens they are, they spend all the money in the world to put art on the back of the tokens to let you know. Yeah, they're very, very complex. This game is definitely expensive to make. So if like you're not sure, if this is a 1 HP token, it tells you on the back what type of token it is. It's an HP token, okay? If you weren't sure if this was an HP token, it tells you right here, okay? Just in case you're confused. And this one, if you weren't sure, whoa, almost broke it. It tells you on the back, this one's a 5 HP token in case you weren't sure by this HP 5. So they spell it out for you, okay? This, you're like, what is this? What is this token? Don't worry. If you flip it over, it reminds you. Time token, okay? You're like, man, what's this torch for? Where does it go? It's an item, Rob. Just in case you weren't sure, it's an item, okay? It tells you right there, all right? All right, cool stuff. All right. So we got to pick an adventure from the adventure book. We've done that. We're going to play Escape from the Tomb. It says the best way to learn the game by using the first adventure, Escape from the Tomb. If you're playing your first game with friends, play the second adventure, find the icon of Ravenloft. Each player chooses one of the first heroes, blah, blah, blah. We put it on level 1. We chose our power cards already. Thank you, everybody. Each player also draws a treasure card. So we're going to draw one. It says, draw until you get a treasure card with an item on it. Okay, we got an item. First one. That's the first time that's ever happened. Magic Sword. Play this item immediately. You gain a +1 bonus to attack rolls against adjacent monsters. Okay, so this is pretty much useless for our character. Awesome. While this item's in play. Again, part of doing it live, we actually draw cards randomly here, so we don't get the greatest cards sometimes. It happens. Okay. All right. So, set up the dungeon tile stack. The deck of tiles, we shuffled all that stuff. Okay, so it tells you to do any special setup if you need to, but now we'll move to the adventure book. So I need to grab adventure setup. I need to have Strahd's Crypt dungeon tile and the Secret Stairway dungeon tile, a sun token, the Strahd villain card, and the figure. So I have to go in the box, in the tile. I have Strahd's villain tile here. It's giant. We'll keep that off screen. I have his figure. He's looking for you. Okay. He's our looming overlord villain. I have a sun token. And if you're not sure, oh wait, which side's the right side? Oh man, it doesn't tell me if this is the sun token for sure. It just says sun on both sides. But I'm not sure if it's a token actually. Crap. Oh no. Okay, well, we'll use it anyway. I wish they told me on the other side. Okay. Okay, and then we have our two special tiles. We got Strahd's Crypt. Okay. Strahd's Crypt is our starting tile. And this tile, the Secret Stairway, it says take the Secret Stairway from the tile dungeon stack and set it aside. Shuffle the rest of the dungeon stack. Okay, without looking. And then put this tile after the 10th tile in the stack, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boom. It's in there. So we know the 11th tile in there, okay, or the 12th tile we'll see on the board, is going to be the stairway, Secret Stairway, which is not so secret because we know where it is, okay? Place the sun token on the first morning circle of the time track below. So they want us to keep this page open and sitting on the table, and literally it's a component of the game to save them from printing a cardboard track to use. We would just put this token on here, and every time we draw a tile with a white arrow on it, not including this one, because we're already on number 1, every time we draw another one, we would advance this, okay? And eventually, if we get to number 5, guess what? Strahd wakes up at sunset, okay? It's nighttime. Vampire Lord, right? Assuming, yeah, he's a vampire. That makes all the sense. Once the sun goes down, vampire comes out and play, okay? And then we get Blade to come and kill him. All right, special adventure rules. Whenever the hero explores and draws a new dungeon tile with a white arrow, move the sun token 1 circle to the right. When you move the sun token on the last circle of the time track, the sun sets and Strahd wakes up. Find the Strahd villain card and place the Strahd figure on the bone pile in Strahd's Crypt tile. So our starting tile is where the villain's going to show up. Okay. Then Strahd activates at the start of each player's villain phase. So for now, we don't have a villain in place, so we can ignore activating villains in the villain step. But we still have to activate monsters. Victory is you win the game when the hero starts his or her turn on the Secret Stairway tile. So even when we find the Secret Stairway, we have to get on it, survive a whole round, and start our turn on that tile. Okay? And we get defeated, we lose the adventure if we have 0 hit points and we have no healing surges remaining. And remember, you can make the game easier by just adding more healing surges, or you can make it harder by having less. But they say the default difficulty is 2 healing surges. That's what we're going to play with today. But you could play with, they give you, I think, 5 or 6 of them in the box. So if you're playing with a whole group that's like, doesn't know what they're doing and they're learning, play with more healing surges, okay? To let them screw up and learn, you know, learn from their mistakes and that kind of stuff. Which is neat. Okay. So the sun token though, I'm not going to use this. I'm just going to use a yellow die to track it on the sun token. Okay. Maybe like here or here. Let's put it here. So it's like close. Okay. So this is the sun track. So when this die gets to 5, Strahd wakes up. Okay. So remind me every time we reveal a tile with a white arrow, I need to increase the pip on this die. Okay, but I mean, if we miss a couple, we can always do it later. You know, it's not a big deal because we can see them all on the board. They don't disappear. Not that I know of. All right. So I just want to read you. Let's, you know, we're playing some D&D here, so let's read some intro, set the stage. In an ancient time and place, magic permeates the land and monsters stalk the shadows that gather along the edges of civilization. In this age of Dungeons and Dragons, the world needs heroes, encased in a varied types of armor and armed with swords, bows, staves, and spells. These heroes explore ancient ruins, take on daring quests, and challenge the most fearsome monsters. One such quest takes the heroes to a dark and mysterious place called Castle Ravenloft. The master of Castle Ravenloft is having guests for dinner, and you're invited. The castle rises over the dark forests and lands of Barovia, looking down upon a sad, frightened village surrounded by an endless sea of dense fog and mist. The master of the castle, Count Strahd, is a vampire, and the night and its creatures belong to him. As long as Strahd exists, Barovia and the land around it will never be safe. A group of heroes, or one hero in our case, has recently arrived in Barovia, stepping out of the mist to find themselves caught up in the evil emanating from Castle Ravenloft. These heroes have chosen to enter the castle and discover the secrets waiting within. The dangers are great, the monsters are deadly, and only the bravest and most capable heroes stand a chance of surviving, let alone succeeding, in defeating Strahd and his minions. The entrance to the castle looms ahead. Strahd's plans are nearing fruition, and the master of the castle has an undying thirst for blood. Can you defeat Count Strahd and the monsters that inhabit Castle Ravenloft? Maybe. And then for the adventure, it tells us when you start the adventure, we have to read this story fluff here, okay? This sets why we're here, okay? So we need to put ourselves on this tile somewhere. I don't think it really matters, but I'll just put myself here. When you start the adventure, read. You wake up alone in the depths of Castle Ravenloft. The last thing you remember was when the man with the piercing eyes and long cape approached you on the dark street outside the inn. It had to be Count Strahd, the vampire. Outside the castle, you know that the sun is high in the sky. Now you have to find your way out of here before the sun sets and Strahd returns to finish whatever foul plot he began last night. And then when the sun sets, we have to read this. So remind me, okay? Rob was in a group. Yeah. The rest of them, we came here with a party of heroes. But I wake up and their bodies are all lying around me. I'm the only one left. So to survive the previous night, I had to eat some of their bodies to survive, okay? I got hungry in the night, okay? I needed a snack. My tummy was grumbling, okay? So these are their dead corpses. I'm alive. And that's why we're playing True Solo. There we go. At least he was dressed very inconspicuously. Yeah. The guy with the fangs dripping in blood and beady eyes and a giant cape. Funny. All right. Rob is totally a werewolf and doesn't remember killing them overnight. Yeah. Okay. Oh, man. Is that... Hey, Matthew. I was going by Yogi's comments. He was talking about Rob ate the rest of the group for sustenance, all right? I tried to, like, play into it, get some characters on the board and stuff. Do this. Let's give us some more room, right? The dungeon can expand in any direction except for these walls. So this black stripe on here is like a wall on the tiles, okay? Also, on a tile, I guess I should describe all this stuff now. So these skulls probably matter, and this name matters for when you need like special scenario rules. We just need to know it's Strahd's crypt. These are just regular spaces is my understanding, unless the scenario tells you these are something different. This is where monsters always spawn, except for in this situation, it's the start tile. There's no monster that told me to set up. I don't think it told me to set up any monster. I don't think. Just says put the secret stairway tile into the dungeon tile stack on the 10th tile. Place Strahd's Crypt tile on the table. Place a hero on any square of the tile. Oh yeah, it tells me right here in this picture. Place the hero on any blue square on the tile, okay? So I'm assuming this is not a blue square. No, that is blue also in the picture, actually. So these are just regular squares. But these are spaces, okay? I can move on these spaces. Oh, wow. I can move on these spaces, orthogonal or diagonal, okay? Doesn't matter. All right. I just can't move onto a space. I can move through a space with another hero, but I can't move through a space with another enemy. Yeah. So we'll just put ourselves there. It's all good. Because we get the first turn anyway, so we have 6 movements, so like we can get to the edge of a tile no problem to get this game started. Okay. I think we're good. On the start tile, you are the monster. That is true. Basically, I ate the rest of my party, so yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Here we go. So again, for those that don't know how to play, wrong side. We're on the hero phase. We definitely don't have 0 hit points. So we're going to perform the one of the following actions. We have nothing to attack, so we're just going to move. And it's not like some of the other games, adventure games and dungeon crawlers we play on the channel. Like, I don't know which direction, doesn't really matter. I'll go to the right. Okay, I can't go to this edge of the tile because this black is a giant wall. In case you weren't sure. That's their wall art, is just black it out, okay? So I can move. Now the thing is, like many other games we play on the channel, and it's a much better design, is I should be able to spend some movement points, reveal the next tile, and the map just keeps going for however long I can move, right? Because when you're running, you know, you can keep running, right? But this game, it's like, once I hit the edge of a tile, if I want to explore, I have to stop there. And all my movement points are lost. All the rest of my second movement is gone. Like, nothing I can do in this situation. It's pretty straightforward, pretty basic. So then I end my turn. Hero phase is over. That's it. I did none of these options. I did my own option called make half a move, okay? Then we go to the exploration phase. If my hero occupies a square adjacent to an unexplored edge, which I do, I go to step 2 and draw a dungeon tile. Okay. Let's draw our first tile. It's the workshop, which doesn't mean anything right now. It's just cool art on it. But the arrow on there is a white arrow. So what do? Dragon says tip 1, you'll want to avoid stopping at corners as you would then reveal 2 tiles and multiple monsters. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Is that how it works? I thought you just reveal 1 and you pick the edge. That's interesting. That is interesting. That's not how I took it, but yeah, I guess that would make sense. So it does kind of matter which space you're in, right? Yeah, it doesn't say. It just says, like, if you're on an unexplored edge, place a tile. But yeah, I guess you'd be on 2 edges? I don't know, it's weird. Yeah, that's interesting. I never really thought of, like, it mattering. That's cool. Okay, so the workshop. So I'm on this unexplored edge. Okay, this unexplored edge. I am not against this unexplored edge or both unexplored edges. I'm against this unexplored edge on purpose, so I'm wandering that way. So I need to use this arrow to tell me to point it back towards the unexplored edge And because it has a white arrow, I need to advance the sun. The sun is going down. So we're at 2 on our sun track. But this also means I won't be drawing an encounter because I explored, and I didn't explore a black arrow. But I do need to spawn a monster on the skulls. Frederick says we always place only 1 tile. Yeah, the way the rules are written, it's like, doesn't seem like it would be more than 1 tile, but I see how you could read it that way, and I don't know what's intended. I'm not sure. Maybe that's on the back? Yeah, that's clever, because maybe you want to do that. Like, there might be a reason why you want to explore more, other than having more monsters appear being annoying. I don't know. Yeah, White Rabbit says, I never played with that corner rule. Only drew 1 tile. Yeah. I'm not sure what's intended. But yeah. From me reading it, I just assumed it was 1 tile. But yes, you could be on a corner against 2 unexplored edges. Sometimes the rules refer to an unexplored edge of a dungeon tile. This is shorthand for a tile edge where you could place a new tile at the edge of the tile that is open and doesn't have another tile adjacent to it. An unexplored edge is an edge of a tile without a wall that is not adjacent to another tile. There are 6 unexplored edges in this diagram highlighted in blue. So all these are unexplored edges, but obviously these are not unexplored edges anymore. Okay. Exploration phase. This is the phase where you add new dungeon tiles. Ooh. Draw monster cards and place monsters. Number 1, if your hero occupies an unexplored edge space, see page 5, which we just read, go to step 2. If you aren't on an unexplored edge space, you aren't in a position to draw and place a new dungeon tile. In this case, go on to the villain phase. Step 2. Draw a dungeon tile and place it with its triangle pointing to the unexplored edge of the tile you're exploring from. Yeah, see, here's how I would rule that it's probably only 1. Thematically, like mechanically, you probably want to draw extra tiles if you're on a corner. But the exploration is like, you're going in one direction, right? You can't split yourself into multiple directions. So I would kind of think that they understand that you're kind of like walking in this direction or walking in this direction. You can't explore tiles diagonally. So it's kind of like one or the other. You can't split yourself into 2 people. Maybe there's a class that does that. But I'm exploring in this direction, not these directions, okay? So in my mind, drawing 2 tiles on a corner kind of doesn't make sense thematically. But you could say like, oh, I'm kind of looking in both those directions. But then you got to be able to cross your eyes, like, you know, separately, like looking both ways. And my character doesn't have that ability to look 2 different directions at once. So I'm going to say it's you choose 1 is probably the way it's meant to do. But yeah, the amoeba class. Oh, that's the one that does it. Brian says, I've played corners or both. I don't know. I'm just going to play it as 1 because that's the way it kind of makes sense to me. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. But you can also just choose which edge you're going to, right? Like, I don't think there'd be a time when 4 monsters are blocking me in like a solo game, you know? And I have decent movement, but again, I could get like slowed where I can only move 2 spaces and I might only can move to a corner. Yeah, I don't think it matters that much. But yeah, I'll just do it this way. But yeah, that's a good question. I like it. That's a weird one. I'm sure that doesn't really break the game either way or make it better or worse. I don't know. I don't think you want to have 2 monsters show up, but you might though, depending on if you're playing multiplayer and stuff. I don't know. Okay. So we need to reveal a monster, and our monster is, oh god, a blazing skeleton, not to be confused with a regular skeleton, okay? We don't need a regular skeleton. We need a blazing skeleton, okay? And they're worse, maybe. So here's our first monster card. I'm going to put this monster on the tile there, on the pile of skulls of my former party members. So it has a name of what it is. They have like a subtype. So this is undead, which might matter based on weapons, effects, or cards, where I might get to extra damage against undead or insta-kill undeads and stuff. But this has an armor class of 13. So remember, if I roll plus the bonus, I have to get 13 or higher to do damage to this thing. It has 2 HP. Then, similar to Sword and Sorcery, that like kind of, this is way simpler, but it has kind of like a bunch of if statements, or like Madara that copied Sword and Sorcery, you know? You just kind of follow it down here. If the blazing skeleton's within 1 tile of a hero, it attacks each hero on the closest hero's tile with a ball of fire. Otherwise, the blazing skeleton moves 1 towards the closest hero. So this will roll dice, or die, and then add and do damage. It even has a miss, it still hits you for damage. So it'll always damage you as long as you're within 1 tile. Now, tiles, how you count tiles? Tiles you can only count orthogonally, and that are not blocked by like a wall. Okay, so we have a wall on the outside here, but this monster is within 1 tile of me. You just count tiles, but you can't count diagonally. So if there's a tile here, and this monster was on that tile, it would be 1, 2 tiles away, not 1 tile diagonally, okay? So it is definitely within 1 tile. So I'm gonna put this monster, I don't know, let's just put monsters like here, and we need to put them in order and resolve them in order that they're out. And as we defeat them, we'll clear them. Okay, so I want to make sure we're doing it all in order here. So we drew a dungeon tile, we put the monster on the tile. Okay, that's it. That's our exploration phase done. Now we go to the villain phase. We did explore, so we don't draw an encounter card. We also drew a white tile, a white arrow, so we don't draw an encounter card. There is no villain in play yet. He hasn't woken up. And now we must activate each monster and trap we control in turn order. Okay. So this monster says, if the blazing skeleton is within 1 tile of a hero, it attacks each hero on the closest tile with a ball of fire. So he doesn't move to me or anything. He just stays where he is. And now are you ready? We're going to grab all the dice included in the game. This is going to get complex, everyone, okay? So we're going to need to count faces on the dice, symbols, add them up, check abilities, you know, subtract hits versus armor, check line of sight, all that kind of stuff. No, actually, no, we don't do any of that. And then you roll all the dice you need based on the enemy. And this guy actually rolls all the dice in the game on his attack. Here we go. All the dice included in the box. Here we go. $16 plus 7 compared. Is it equal to 15 or higher on my armor class? Oh, hell yeah. Of course it is. It's going to do 2 damage. So I take away 2 HP. Ugh. Now you see this fun design here of draw tile, get monster instantly, 99.9% of the time. Monster activates. We got like one of the worst monsters I feel that I've seen, that even does damage when it misses. Now, I could do this, but it's not adjacent, so I can't do it. So just keep that in mind. If I ever get whacked like really hard and we're like, man, we might need to use that, okay? But I can't because he's not adjacent, so he's annoying. All right. So yes, this is all the dice included in the game. Very complicated combat, by the way. All right. Remember that first blood is good, but last blood is what counts. Oh, this guy is worth 2 experience though if we can kill him. Yeah. All right. Back to, so now that we finished activating monsters, it's back around. It just literally loops like that. So we're back to our hero phase. And that's it. That's the whole game. That's like turn after turn like that. So we do have some choice. We do have some choice. We could like run the opposite direction or this direction, stand there, reveal another tile. We can attack first. We could move to him and attack him. We could move to the edge here. Still be adjacent even if we're like diagonal or whatever, because we can move up to 6 spaces. So we have lots of options. But we should attack this guy and start doing damage on him. Or we can run from him. But remember, if he can't attack us within one tile, he'll move one tile close. And the thing is, when monsters move tiles, it's really weird. They don't have movement points. They just literally move to the next pile of skulls. And if that pile's full, the players can choose whichever space on the tile they want to put the monster on. Lots of player choice in this one to like game the system, which I like. Read my hero ability. Yeah, I did read it before. Dragon, I did read the ability. We went over it at the beginning. We were like voting on the heroes. You want me to use that ability, is what you're saying? But anyways, back to what we can do on our turn. So we could attack, we can move then attack, or we can move. And we can end on like any edge of a tile to explore. We don't have to end on the edge of a tile. If we don't want to explore, we could still explore. Maybe that's why Dragon's mentioning read my ability. Because we could also explore not being on the edge. Oh, there was a question. Sorry, I missed that. Edward's asking, is the ranger's ability sounds like it could see in two directions when they're on any one edge? Yeah, you can. I think you can explore two tiles with the ranger ability. That's what we were talking about at the start of the stream. I couldn't find it in the FAQ though. I didn't Google or anything. But we're a master explorer. During your exploration phase, you can explore one unexplored edge on your tile, even if you aren't adjacent to it. I would assume you can explore two tiles if you wanted, but it's not 100% clear. Maybe it just means you can explore one if you're not, like it still lets you explore even though you're not adjacent. I don't know if it's intended to be able to explore two tiles. I don't know. It's not clear. But yeah. Because it should say something like yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's how I kind of assumed. It's like we don't need to be on the edge to explore a tile, but I don't think you can like, it's meant to go that crazy where like I could explore on the edge and another edge, you know? I don't think so. I don't really want to do that anyway. So yeah. So I don't think I'm going to pretend like I can see in two directions with that card either. Or that ability. Okay. So. I'm debating just doing this. Like we need to kill this guy. I could do a bounding attack. Place your hero on a tile within one tile of you, adjacent to one monster. Okay, I could attack, sorry, one adjacent monster. It's +6. I could still miss, but even if I miss, I do 1 damage at least. But I could kill him, because remember, he's 2 HP. I don't have any other way to kill him this turn except for that. Also, that would make my magic sword actually useful. I would gain a bonus +1 to my attack rolls against adjacent monsters. And it's not like he gets worse if I'm beside him. He's the same whether I'm beside him or on a tile away. Sound good? And we'll have an ability flip, so if we do draw a treasure, that flips one of our one-time use abilities back over. We'll have one to use it, but I don't know if this is the right guy to use it on. Maybe there's another enemy to use it on, but this guy's literally taking away 2 HP at once. I can't survive that long with that. So, YOLO? Okay, so we're gonna do this one. So we're gonna get a +6 bonus on whatever we roll. The monster is 13 armor class. We need to roll 13 or higher. So if we're rolling 6, we need to roll 7. But actually, we only need to roll a 6 or higher, right? Because of Magic Sword. Again, if my math is off, I would not be surprised. Okay. +7 with the card. Oh, okay, yeah, you can look at it that way too, right? +7 with the magic sword. And I did learn in the rule book when I reread it this morning, if I have a bunch of items, I'm only allowed to use like one item to add pluses to like a roll, but I could have multiple cards that add pluses to like different types of rolls or things. But if I have like a +1 to attack adjacent or an item that's +2 to attacks in general, I'd have to choose which card I want to use or something. I can't use them all. They don't stack, basically, is my understanding. But I can use, if I have a blessing, that gives me a bonus for the turn, plus an item, plus a whatever the other treasure type is. I can use one of each card type to stack, but not multiple of the same card type, if that makes sense, is my understanding. +13 +1 +6. Oh yeah, I gotta move myself adjacent. And then we kill him. 3 damage. And then I flip this card over. It's used. Blah. And then we take this as XP. Okay. 2 XPs. I can still move. That was my attack. I could still move, but obviously I'm on the edge of a tile because I can put myself anywhere adjacent. So let's just move this direction. Okay, so now we're going to explore. So I don't think there's anything else to do at the end of my hero turn. Oh no, another white tile. That's not good. So I'm going to advance the sundial to 3. Oh yeah, treasure. See? I forget the treasure all the time, guys. All the time. I make this game so hard for myself. Yeah. I played a whole playthrough where I didn't even draw treasure once, almost. Except for like one time, I remembered. And then I realized at the end when I reread the rulebook, I'm like, oh yeah, duh. Yeah. I forgot loot. Yeah, that's correct. The second time, though, I remembered, and it felt like I broke the game. I know, it's crazy, guys. It's crazy. I was so focused on trying to like make sure like I understood the flow that I like kept forgetting the treasure part. It's not on the reference card, right? That's the problem. Okay, we got a blessing. Heroic stand. Play this blessing immediately. Until the end of your next hero phase, each hero gains a bonus to attack rolls equal to the number of monsters on his or her tile. So this will stack with magic sword because they're a different type of treasure. This is a blessing. And this is an item. And it says discard this card at the end of your next hero phase. Okay. All right. And there is a rule. If I were able to kill multiple enemies on that turn, I would draw a treasure after the first enemy, but you are limited to 1 treasure per hero phase. That is a thing. Okay. Monster. Our next monster is a zombie. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, you know. Okay, we got a zombie. Yeah, this guy is only 11 or higher I need to hit. It's only 1 hit point. If the zombie's within 1 tile of hero, it moves adjacent to the closest hero and attacks that hero with Rotting Fist. Otherwise, the zombie moves 1 tile towards the closest hero. Its attack is +5 to the roll, and 1 damage for each monster on the zombie's tile. So if you ignore the zombies for a while and they build up and they build up, that could be bad. So I can choose, this is kind of cool. Depending on my abilities, I might have stuff that hits monsters on my tile. I might have cool effects that are like deal damage to all the monsters on your tile and stuff. Or maybe I only care if it's adjacent. Maybe I don't want the monster on my tile because I'm about to run this direction and I need them within 2 tiles or 3 tiles instead of within 1 tile. So I'm allowed to make the decision for this monster where it wants to move adjacent to me. I could keep it on its same tile and technically it's adjacent diagonally. I could put it here, which is still adjacent. I could put it here, or I can put it here. All depending where I want it might be running to. Maybe I want to explore this direction, so I want it here. And if I explore this direction and put a new tile here, this zombie will then be 2 tiles away from me, so then wouldn't attack me. So you could like run and kind of manipulate it. It's your choice. It's your choice. I just want him adjacent to me. I don't care where he is, because in my mind, I'm kind of eyeballing this. And we're going to do a careful attack. And we're going to put a knife in the zombie's eye socket and end it. Okay. That's my plan. So I really don't care where he is right now. I'm not going to run away from him. I'm going to face my fears. I think. Yes. That is the play. But maybe I don't have enough movement points. So maybe I want to put him like here. And then I kill him. And then that, like, I could just move in 3 movement points and be at this edge. Or maybe I want to go to this edge. So maybe I don't want him here, because then he'll cause like more movement points needed to get around him, you know? So you have all the choice there. There is some flexibility. Most cases, I don't think it matters, but you might be lining up some future attack or ability or direction you want to go, which might make it matter. I don't know. So I'll put him there. And he's going to attack with a +5. And he's looking to get 15 or higher. So he wants to roll a 10 or higher. Of course, he rolled a 19. 1 damage. This is going great, guys. This is going great. Fantastic. So glad we picked a character with lower armor class. Thanks, everybody. I'm just joking. They still roll way higher. Okay. So that's a monster activating. My turn. I'm going to careful attack. 1 adjacent monster takes 1 damage. We kill that monster. I get a treasure. Yeah, I don't really care about this. This is just gone. But yeah, I can see why I'd want him to be on my tile. But again, like I said, I was eyeballing this ability, so I don't even need to roll, right? Natural crit. Okay. Yeah, so this blessing will be gone at the end of my turn anyway. But yeah, we get a treasure. I got the item Holy Avenger, Batman. Play this item immediately. You gain a +1 bonus to attack rolls against adjacent monsters while this item's in play. Increase the bonus to +3 against undead monsters. So technically, I just got a better version of this. So like, why would I never choose to use this, right? Like, I think. But again, when you're playing multiplayer, obviously I'm playing solo, so I get all the loot. But in this game, you can actually choose who gets the loot at the table, even though I did the kill. And I think I can just hand it to a player who's like 10 tiles away across the dungeon. I just go here, Mel, take this. And I see why there's things that might do the same effect, because I might want to give this to another player who's maybe surrounded by undead monsters. Oh, I could lose items. I see. Okay, so basically the magic sword, I'm holding it to trick the monsters to steal that first. But yeah, but they don't stack. They don't stack because they're both items. I can only choose one to use for an attack. There's no encounter cards yet, Yogi, because I have explored every turn. And when we explored, it was always a white arrow tile. So we haven't got to see explorer cards yet. And then I get an experience from killing a zombie. Okay, now I'm going to move on my turn. And I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to keep going this way, I think. For now. Again, it could turn us around, though. Like, they could be a corner tile and stuff. Nope. It's a dark fountain. So this probably does something in one of the adventures, but right now it's just a regular tile. Oh, look, a monster's going to be right in front of me. That's fantastic. Hopefully he doesn't have a super horrible adjacent ability. Oh yeah, sorry. He's not. The arrow. The arrow is here, Rob. The arrow is here. Arrow points this way. Oh, it actually is going to turn us like around, or we go this way, because now we can't go this direction, which I was thinking. Yeah, sorry guys. Okay. Oh, we found a skeleton who could hit us for 1 or 2 damage, depending on if we're adjacent to it, or if we're within 1 tile. Oh, that's great. It looks like when it spawns, because we're within 1 tile and we have no choice, it's going to attack us with the higher probability attack that also does more damage. Thanks, skeleton. Thanks. Serenity now. So there's our skeleton. I explored. It was a white tile. We're going to increase the sun to 4. 1 more white tile and the boss comes out. We're in trouble. Like, this luck is horrible. Yeah, we just got the die. Yep. Move away from it. I can't move anymore. How am I moving? Doesn't the hero phase all complete first, where I move, and then when I'm fully done my turn of moving and attacking, I check if I'm on the edge of a tile, and I was, so I draw, and I put a monster there. There's no chance for me to go again before the monsters attack in the villain phase, right? Or before they activate, I should say. Yeah, so how am I supposed to get away? This is the not fun part of this game. This is the spoiler. This is the bad design of this game. This is the one thing that's like kind of lame. It's cool how simplistic it is, but the fact that I have no choice but to get beaten, and I know the game's balanced all around it. I know it's part of the design, and it needs to be there for everything else to work in the game. But I can see why I've never seen this happen really in a dungeon crawler since. So yeah. And I've yet to see an enemy that basically doesn't attack me. And they all seem to have juicy dice. Now I know I could roll really low for them some games and it's not as bad. But man, +9 on a d20? How am I not hitting that? Maybe I won't because I said that. All right, let's roll it up. Frederick, I got used to it, but it was just very jarring. Like it for something that's meant to be a gateway dungeon crawler and like, you know, your first dungeon crawler, or for like non-serious gamers, it's kind of a feels bad thing. But it's maybe because I'm playing solo and like nobody else is taking hits. But like even if I was playing solo, I have to explore in this scenario. Maybe in other scenarios I don't have to explore as much, so there's not new monsters every single turn. But in this one, I'm trying to run away from the boss waking up, so I kind of have to keep moving or I'm dead. Right? 12. 12 plus 9 is definitely equal to or higher than 15, so I'm taking 2 more damage. Or, you know what? Let's just... No, he's not adjacent. Oh, he will be adjacent actually, sorry, right? If the skeleton's within 1 tile, it moves adjacent to the closest hero, then attacks with a charging slice. So yes, I need to do all the actions. So he's adjacent. Okay. I'm going to use this right now. Use this power when an adjacent monster hits you. The attack misses instead. Place that monster on a tile within 1 tile of you. Okay. So it misses. I'm still at 5 HP. I don't know if that's the right time to use that, but whatever. 2 damage is 2 damage, man. I'll put him right here on this tile. Okay. My turn, fool. I'm just going to attack a monster that's adjacent to me with 1 damage. Blech. I kill a skeleton. I don't even roll dice. Feels a little broken, doesn't it? I now have the glorious total of 5 experience. 5 experience, everybody. So now if we see an encounter card, if we ever seem to draw an encounter card, if that ever happens in the game, if I don't keep drawing white tiles, we could cancel one. Or if we roll a natural d20 when we're attacking, we have the option, if we have, to spend 6 or more experience, or 5 or more experience, sorry, 5 or more experience to level up. To level up. Okay, all right, guys, all right. I see what you're thinking. You're thinking that I could use my ability and you're thinking somehow I can stop that monster from attacking me? Have we not read how all the cards work in this game? If the skeleton is within one tile, it doesn't care where you are on the tile in this game. Literally where you're standing on a tile doesn't matter unless you're on the edge or you're not on the edge. Okay, sometimes it matters if they want to be adjacent to you. But because it's within one tile, it just gets to fly as far as it needs to go. The monsters don't have movement points. So even if I'm on the opposite side of the tile and I explore a different edge, this monster's still reaching me, right? You guys get that, right? There's no way to avoid the attacks. Again, if the blazing skeleton is within one tile of a hero, it's just counting the whole tile and it shoots at me. So it doesn't matter where I am on the tile that I explore the edge, I'm getting hit, right? If the zombie is within one tile of a hero, it moves adjacent to the closest hero. So in multiplayer, it would matter more, right? I could explore and literally let Kyle take the hit because he's closer to the monster. I could explore the far edge, make a monster appear, it becomes a zombie, and the zombie hits another player. So this is probably just because I've only ever played this game true solo so far learning it, but it just feels weird. So maybe in the multiplayer when I play it, we'll see less that monsters are like auto hitting you, but I know it's all in the balance. All I'm saying is it just feels bad. It feels weird. But again, your guys' experience, you probably played this as your first dungeon crawler, some of you, right? So you're used to this, you think this is normal. Me, I'm like, I don't know what, like, why don't games do this anymore? I think I know why. But yeah, it's just my opinion. Just my opinion. Doesn't matter that much, but that's how I feel. Yeah. But yeah. And Robin says about 70% of the monsters are like this. Oh, but not every one. Also, Robin, I'm sure it might also be related to I'm only playing with this set, right? Because remember, you can mix any of the adventure board games together and you could have a completely different monster set or play one of the different ones standalone. So you could be playing Legends of Drizzt or whatever, and that's your experience with this system. And they might have completely different behaving monsters in there and different heroes with different abilities. I don't know. I've never played any of them. So again, all I've played is this first scenario. This is my third time playing it. I've already played this hero one time and I've not seen everything in here. I've seen a lot of repeat stuff, but not a lot of different stuff. So yeah. So it's good to know that not every monster acts that way. It just feels like it. All right. So it's our turn. We killed the monster. Now we can move. Where do we go? This way more? Sure. Okay, we're gonna explore. Oh, it's a black tile. The Crypt of Sergei von Zarovich. I'm sure means something in one of the scenarios. Monster? Oh, loot. See, thank you guys. No, I want the game to be harder. Stop. I'll probably still lose. Item, Wand of Teleportation. I've never seen this one before in this game. I've seen this kind of thing in other games. Use this item during your hero phase instead of attacking. I don't like the sound of that. Choose a tile within one tile of you. Place each monster on the chosen tile on a tile within 3 tiles of you. Wait, so I'm not teleporting, I'm teleporting them. Ah, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Monster. Thank you guys. Yeah. All right. Spider. Vermin. All right. This thing has 15 armor class, 1 HP. If the spider is adjacent to a hero, it attacks that hero with a venomous bite. So it would be +6, 2 damage. If it misses, it still damages you. If the spider is within 1 tile of a hero, attacks the closest hero with an acidic web. Oh, +11 on that one. Why not? Why not? Oh, man. Otherwise, the spider moves 2 tiles towards the closest hero. 1 damage and slowed. Place the spider adjacent to the hero. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. We got a spider, everybody. Now we're going to draw an encounter card. Oh yeah, that Anthony says the item teleports the boss far away from you. It's a good item. Yeah, because the boss also counts as a monster, right? Like villains are monsters, it says in the book, I think. And I was like, why would that ever matter? I now see why. I now see why. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. We need pesticide? Is that in the treasure deck? I need to find some pesticide. Okay. All right. So encounter card. Our first encounter card, everybody. Remember, I have 5 experience. We can cancel it if we want. You guys yell at me if you're like, cancel that one. Okay, it's an environment. A mystical reddish fog brings out the inner animal in the living and the dead. If there's an environment card already in play, discard it. This environment remains in play until a new environment card is drawn. Whenever a hero or monster attacks and rolls a natural 17 or higher, the target of the attack takes 1 additional damage. I feel like that benefits the monsters way more than it benefits me. So, but it's only when they roll 17. Yeah. Yeah, the monsters roll way more often, right? So, should I cancel that? You guys think? Is that worthy of a cancel? Can we heal? There, I have gotten in previous playthroughs, there are some treasure cards that give you like 1 HP back. That's it. And no, this is not full healing. Those healing surges only heal you 4 more HP because we're the ranger. So we technically have like 5 of our base points left and 2 more 4-point heals. Right? Think of it that way. So we're like 13 health left, kind of. Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to cancel the encounter. So there is a rule in the game. I talked about it a little bit before, and it's a rule that I've never ever done before because I keep forgetting it's a rule. But I'm trying to teach you guys the best I can to show you the cool things in the game. So anytime you draw an encounter card, my understanding is you can fully look at it and read it. Then as a group or whoever's turn it is, even if you're playing multiplayer, you have final say if you're the active player. So even if another player was trying to level up with experience, on your turn, you can spend the group's experience. It's a group pile. Obviously, I'm the only player today, so I'm going to choose to spend 5 experience, and I'm going to cancel this. Gone. Okay? I don't know if it's the best one to cancel. We're just going to cancel it. And it gets to show you that canceling, so if I forget it for the rest of the game, you now know it's a thing. So you guys can yell at me if you're like, you need to cancel that, Rob. Do it. No, I'll never roll 17 or higher on my turn. That's the problem. The monsters, they roll like 18s, 19s. I don't know what it is. It's horrible. All right. Monster activation. The spider isn't with 1 tile of the hero. It attacks the closest hero with acidic web. Plus 11. Plus 11. 11 plus 11. 22. That is definitely equal to or higher than 15. I lose 1 health. And I'm slowed. Slowed is your speed is 2. Discard this condition at the end of your hero phase. Okay. And place the spider adjacent to the hero. My turn. He has 1 health. 1 adjacent monster takes 1 damage. Ugh. I have 2 experience now. Okay. Treasure card. We got Glimpse of the Future. Play this fortune immediately. Look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. I've never seen this one before. Put them back on the top of the deck in any order. Discard this after playing with it. Playing it. 1, 2, 3. Put them back on top of the deck in any order. Frenzy. Each monster you control activates twice during your villain phase. Discard the card. Oh, come on, man. That's one I want to cancel. I'm probably going to say that about every single one. Oh, a trap. I've never actually seen a trap yet come into play. Place the alarm marker on the active heroes tile. If that tile already has a marker, discard this card and draw a new encounter card. Trigger the trap during your villain phase. Place a new monster on the unexplored edge that is closest to the alarm marker. Instead of attacking, a hero on the tile with a trap can try to disable it by rolling a 10 or higher. What the hell? Oh, another trap. Crushing walls. Trigger the trap during your villain phase. Attack each hero on this tile for +6, 2 damage, or mobilize. And if it misses, you still take 1 damage. Wow. These are all horrible. What order? Crushing walls, alarm, frenzy. They all suck, man. Second card is the least terrible. The alarm. Yeah, okay. I'll put frenzy on the bottom then. That's horrible, man. Okay. So I can move. My speed is only 2. So I can just move 1, right? And we can explore down this way. And I lose slowed at the end of my turn. Or my hero phase. We have something to cancel. Put the cancel at the top. No, we need to earn more experience, Yogi. We only have 2. We need to get up to 5 XP again of dead bodies of the enemies to be able to cancel. So maybe I canceled a little too prematurely. Okay, another black tile. So we are going to draw another encounter card. Monster. It's a ghoul undead. He's not adjacent to me. So after we do our encounter card, oh, he could be adjacent if the encounter card does something to make him adjacent. Oh, 3 damage if he's adjacent. And he could have mobilized me. Oh my. Where's the wolves and the spiders, man? Those I feel like were much gentler enemies. These guys are coming at me hard. Okay. All right. One of these guys. What do they look like? So encounter card. So alarm. Place the alarm marker. So I have to find what an alarm marker is. Is it a round one? I honestly don't know. Are they like the square ones? Man, I want to play with these things. What are these little items? No, I don't know. Maybe they're the squares. Hold on. Oh, I found it. That's what these are. I've never even like flipped these over yet. Encounter tiles. Okay, I should have these like nearby the encounter deck then, right? Yeah, I've never ever had to draw from there. That's crazy. Then there's like all these tokens, which I don't know what these are for. Monsters. I'm sure they're for another scenario. But there's like 100 of these little monster. Oh, you guys can't see. There's like 100 of these little monster tokens in the box, which I don't know what they're for yet. But yeah, I didn't know. I've never had to use these, but I guess it's all the tokens for the traps and stuff. And some powers. Yeah, interesting. There's a new monster on the unexplored edge that's closest to the alarm marker. So this goes on. This goes on my active tile. Trigger the trap during your villain phase. So this is drawn in the encounter phase. So like I have no way to get around it, right? Or the exploration phase. You didn't place a tile during your exploration, or you place a tile with a black triangle, draw an encounter card. So it activates in step 3. So again, I can't avoid it in any way, right? So how am I supposed to disable it? It just stays out. That's why, right? And it just keeps happening over and over again. Trigger the trap during your villain phase. Place a monster on the unexplored edge that's closest to the alarm marker. So I choose where to place this giant token. I don't know what I'm even supposed to be doing here. This is weird. So I drew a spider. Okay, and because the other spider is dead, I can draw another spider. But if I already had that other spider out, I would have to discard and draw a different one. So place a new monster on the unexplored edge that is closest to the alarm marker. Or I guess I could do it like this and I just choose wherever, right? So I not only have to disable a trap, which takes my attack action, but I also have 2 monsters to deal with. This is literally the worst I've ever seen the game get. I hate traps. And they don't even give me XP when I waste my turn getting rid of them. Obviously, I would like it if I cleared the monsters first, then dealt with the trap. But if I ignore the trap and deal with the monsters, I'll keep getting a new monster. This is crazy. I think I'm in trouble. I think I'm in trouble. I wish I could attack and attack. You know, that'd be cool, but I can't. All right, let's trigger it. Oh yeah, I triggered it out of order. So this guy would go first. He's not adjacent to a hero. If the ghoul is within 1 tile of a hero, it moves adjacent to the hero. I don't know. And attacks with a paralyzing claw. +7. That's a 6. +7 is 13. Right? That's less than my armor defense. Finally blocked the hit. Wow. Okay, then the alarm goes. Draws me a spider, right? Yeah, it's gotta go up here somewhere. There's an unexplored edge. This is an unexplored edge. Up here. There's no wall there. This is an unexplored edge on the top up here. 100% that's an unexplored edge still. Okay. Yep. If there was a wall there, like this is not an unexplored edge because there's a wall here. This is the only one. So that would be the only unexplored edge I can put it against, no matter where the alarm tile is. If the spider is within 1 tile of the hero, it attacks the closest hero with an acidic web. Plus 11 on 14. Oh yeah, it hits me for 1. And I'm slowed. And the spider wants to move adjacent to me. Is it the first or... I can't see the other word. You're in trouble the moment you stepped on the first square of the entry tile. Bob, hello. Yes, you speak the truth. The trap token usually affects the tile. It don't matter where you put the token. Yeah, it doesn't, right? I was thinking it did because it talked about edges, but that's the only edge I have. That's unexplored, so it wouldn't matter in this case at all. Okay. My turn, right? I have to shut the trap off, right? I have to. Now, I could run from it, but then it'll keep making new monsters, and they all have like within 1 tile, so I won't be able to get away. So is the right play here just to let these 2 monsters keep beating up on me and just try to get rid of it? I need to roll a 10 or higher, so I could even waste my whole turn. And the problem is I can only attack once on the turn, so I could use this turn, but then the next turn I'll still get a new monster from the trap, and the other monsters will get to move back close to me again. No, you can't double attack, right? I don't think so. Move, then make an attack. Attack, then move, or make 2 moves. There is no attack. You would think there would be, but there's not. Now, Joe, I can't do both in the same turn because, again, I can only attack once in a turn. So when something says use this instead of attacking, it means I'm giving up my attack action to move these monsters away. I also need to give up my attack action to try to disable the trap. I can't do both on the same turn, which sucks. So I just need to pick something and just get punched in the face. I could move them away, but then the trap will still trigger, still draw me another monster, and that monster still will activate. So then I'll have another monster on the tile with me, plus other monsters that are 3 tiles away that are coming back towards me, right? So I feel like I just need to get this trap is like, I have to deal with it. Now, there's an interesting thing here. We know the next card is another trap, and that trap will just get discarded. So we have to deal with this. But if we leave this, if we deal with this, another trap will replace it. If we leave it, we'll get another monster, but then that other trap card just gets discarded. But then we draw into that other one that makes all the monsters act twice. So that's literally what's going to happen next turn is these 2 monsters get to attack twice. So based on that, I should probably just teleport those guys away so that I have less monsters around me, right? Because we know they're about to attack twice on the next phase. Unless I just run from them right now. But I can only move 2 speed. So I can only move 2 spaces. That doesn't help me at all. Stupid spider. I'm in trouble, guys. I'm in trouble. Oh, Anthony says, wish Drizzt is here. He can attack 2 times for a hero turn. Oh, you're telling me I bought the wrong game for sure. I see why you're saying that. If that's true, now I see why people are saying that game's the best. 100% that's why. Oh, I bought the wrong game. Damn it. Marav says, if you teleport them and explore north, there will be no unexplored edge, question mark? Yeah, Joe, it's all your fault. Place a new monster on the unexplored edge. No, here's the thing. It actually doesn't matter. It's not actually related to the tile. I misunderstood this. So this basically alarm is going to make it come to the most closest unexplored edge. So if I explore north, the actual next closest unexplored edge would be an unexplored edge that's like on the next one of the next 3 tiles, right? So it could come from here, it could come from here, or it could come from an unexplored edge up here somewhere. So it doesn't matter, sorry, which I'm thinking there's so much more going on there, but there's not. So it basically is just an alarm going off, calling monsters from down the hall somewhere. Yeah, so I could make it have monsters appear like down here and go north. But then those monsters will still get me because I'm only 1 tile away. Yeah, I don't know what to do, guys. There's actually some decisions here. I move these monsters here. 1, 1. Yeah, I'm gonna just do the wand of teleportation, I think. Choose a tile within 1 tile of you. I'll choose my own. Place each monster on that tile on a tile within 3 tiles of you. 1, 2, 3. So whatever. I'll just put them way over here. It doesn't really matter where they are. Yeah, it does not matter. Okay. Guard after using it. Done. And then I'll move. I will move. But I can't. Oh yeah, my power. I'll use my power. I will move. One, two, 2. I'll go 1, 2. Okay. Do I do that? Yeah, I do need to try to do the alarm, right? I'm debating going here and not exploring. So we get a turn off, right? But then like the monster will appear there and we're gonna get overrun, right? Yeah, I'll just move like this. It doesn't matter really where I move. Does not matter at all. But I'm trying to think about encounter cards, right? Because the next encounter card is going to be a trap that just gets discarded. It's going to make the monsters activate twice. So maybe I could explore an edge and maybe not get an encounter card. And it's a white tile, but then it also make the boss man show up. I think I just stay here, whatever. And I'm going to explore. I think. I'm not killing the alarm then moving with those 2 monsters there that are going to activate twice. I need the heat off a little bit. So yeah, I'll just stay there. Let's just stay there. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we didn't explore, so we have to draw an encounter card. Oops. It's a trap. So we must discard this card and draw a new one. So we draw this. Each monster you control activates twice during your villain phase. Not traps, just monsters, right? So now this guy will go. If the ghoul is adjacent to a hero, it attacks that hero with bite. No. If it's in one tile, no. Otherwise, it moves one tile towards the closest hero. Yeah, I should have ran away. I don't know. It's fine. Okay. Alarm will happen. Trigger the trap during your villain phase. Place a new monster on the unexplored edge that's closest to the alarm marker. So I drew another ghoul undead, but we already have that monster under our control. So I actually discard this and just draw another monster. And we got a wolf. Okay. And there's the wolf card. 14. So it's going to pounce on me and slow me, right? Oh yeah, we're slowed is gone, but it probably will get it again. Okay. Up here. This one, the spider moves 2 tiles towards the closest hero. 1, 2. That was fast. Oh, they activate twice, right? Yeah, this is so bad, guys. I definitely made the wrong choice. So this guy moves 1 again. Yeah, he should activate twice. This is once. This is twice. 1, 2. And then the second activation of this spider is within 1 tile of a hero. It attacks the close hero with an acidic web, which is plus 11 on a 6. That is 17. That hits me for 1. I'm slowed, right? And the spider is now adjacent to me. And then the wolf yeah, that wand was the dumbest move ever. I don't know, it didn't make a difference. I should have explored. I should have went this way and explored down here. That's what I was going to do and ignore the trap. Because I should have. The trap's just going to keep doing its thing. And I'll probably miss when I go to disarm it. Oh, man. All right. So the wolf is going to go adjacent to the hero and attack with pounce, which is plus 7. 10 plus 7, that hits me. I'm 1 HP and slowed. And then it activates again if it's adjacent, attacks with bite, which is plus 9. Whoops. Plus 9. 8 plus 9. 17. Yep, that's more than my health, or more than my armor. So it does 2 damage. Boom. I'm knocked down. Yeah, I think I should have kept running, guys. I don't think I should have stopped and worried about this trap. I should have booted it. But I was slowed, so I could have moved here, though, and, like, explored with my ability. But then that would also put a monster here that would have activated twice anyway. But I think the spider wouldn't have got me, but it's okay. Yeah. Are you sure you play the crushing wall trap correctly? I don't know. Oh, somebody finally caught that I keep switching the dice. I was waiting for somebody to catch that. Okay. Place the crushing walls marker on the active hero's tile. If that tile already has a marker, discard this card and draw a new one. That's why I was debating, like, whether I move to the next tile or not and try to activate another tile, because then the second trap would come out. It would leave another trap there, and then I wouldn't have seen that other double activating card yet, you know? I should have never spent that 5 XP to cancel that other card, I think. Because I think I would want to cancel the double activation one, especially after the traps came out. Or I should have done the double activation one first when I had less monsters. Probably, right? I probably put those cards in the completely wrong order now that I'm thinking about it. So yeah, you can't have a second trap on your tile. That's basically what it's doing. It says A marker, doesn't specify. But I think it means trap though. I think you can only have one trap on a tile, I think is like what's intended, right? A trap is a snare or other mechanical device placed in the dungeon crypt to defeat the heroes. Each trap card has a corresponding marker. When you draw a trap card, place the trap's marker on the active hero's tile. If there's already a trap there, discard the trap you just drew and draw another encounter card. After placing the trap marker, put the trap card in front of you with any monster cards and trap cards you have acquired. When you take your villain phase, the trap card activates like a monster. Unlike a monster, the trap lacks tactics. Instead, a trap takes the actions listed on his card. A trap might attack all the heroes on his tile, or it might attack the hero closest to it. A trap attacks just like a monster. Heroes have the option to disable a trap. One trap per tile, yeah. Okay, I'm in trouble. So of course the last guy's the guy who knocked me down, because if I got knocked down by the first guy, all the rest of the things would ignore me. So start of my turn, I have to spend a healing surge. I have 1 remaining to get back up and only have 4 HP. So again, I learned something here is I shouldn't have stayed here. I should have just kept running, because literally all we need to do is get out of this scenario. But that encounter card that activated twice, if we could have canceled that, big winning. We'd be big winning. We're not. Okay. Oh yeah, this would, I still am slowed. Like, do I even care about this trap? Why did I stay here? I should not have stayed here. Because now I'm going to have 3 monsters smashing on me, and I might even miss on the trap disable. That was so dumb. I should have just left the trap alone. Should have left it. All right. So now I got to just deal with it, right? Try. Let's see. To be fair, making 2 steps when your enemies move several tiles wouldn't have made much of a difference. Yeah. I think the wand was a waste of effort there. I shouldn't have probably done that. But I thought moving them far away, when they double activated, they wouldn't be like right beside me hitting me multiple times. But yeah. Yeah. So let's try to disable the trap maybe. But then I can only move 2 spaces, so I won't be able to get away from these guys. Yeah, slow stays till the end of my turn. The spider just did it to me last turn, right? Yeah, I don't think you lose all the conditions when you get knocked over. I don't think so. Oh, this is so bad. Try to disable the trap. Looking for 10 or higher. 11. Oh my god. I thought for sure that was gonna miss. All right, I'll move for 2. Should I explore? Probably not, right? I don't know. Should I explore? No. I don't think so. Okay, encounter card. Man, I've seen no traps ever playing this game until today. I've seen 3 now. Place the dart trap marker in the active hero's tile. Oh my god. Attack each hero on this tile. +8, 2 damage. If it misses, I still get hit by 1. Woo! Okay. Well, we're getting a good showcase of how traps work. Oh, man. I need to play this with more people because I don't think it'd be this crazy otherwise. All right. The Ghoul Hero. He's not within one tile, so he'll move one tile closer. This trap is gone. Ooh. I don't think you get loot on traps, right? I don't think so. Again, I don't know. I never really played with traps. I think it's only monsters, right? What am I looking at this book for? Yeah, let's just check. Because I've never actually dealt with a trap in play yet, so I kind of forget. I doubt it, though. I feel like the traps don't hide treasure in them. Yeah, it says when you defeat a monster, gain a treasure. Doesn't say anything about disabling a trap. Dang it. The spider. He's not adjacent, so he's within one tile. He's going to try his web on me. Plus 11. 1 damage and I'm slowed again. Surprise. This spider is crazy. He's also adjacent now. The wolf is within 2 tiles. It's going to also move adjacent. And pounce for plus 7. 6 plus 7. Okay, he doesn't hit me. Oh, wow. Now the trap is going to roll plus 8. 7 plus 8, 15. That's enough to hit me for 2. My God. I can't do anything about it. And yeah. I should have explored. This is what I'm learning is like, exploring is like so necessary. Because now I'm stuck on this tile unless I start going back the other way. The problem is I go the other way and I'm still possibly in range of these guys because I can't move here. I could have put this guy adjacent here. I could put this guy adjacent here, for example. But even with 2 movement points, 1, 2, because I'm slowed, I can't get like more tiles away. I wish I could. So I'm going to get shot at again by this dart trap unless I get onto this tile. This is crazy, guys. Crazy. I think I have to do... I have to kill the spider. Did I forget the sundial? Why would I forgot the sundial? I don't think so. I don't think the sun happens till it's at 5, right? 5. And I've only revealed 1, 2, 3 white arrows, right? So I would have only moved the token 1, 2, 3 spaces, right? Right? Like you can always double check. It's right on the board, right? Yeah. You only move the sun when we draw another tile, but I haven't drawn another tile, right? So it's kind of white triangle or no white triangle. All right, I'm going to kill this guy with this ability because I have no way to hit all the monsters on my space. That would be awesome. I have seen loot that does that, but I do not have that. So I will auto kill the spider. See, he's annoying. That will give me a loot right now. Maybe it's going to help me. Guided strikes. Play this blessing immediately until the end of your next hero phase. Each hero gains +2 bonus attack to attack rolls. Yeah, thanks. This is just great. That's exactly what I need. Okay. Then I'll move for 2. 1, 2. Okay, I get off the trap tile, right? Right. Okay. I'm not on an unexplored edge, so we won't explore. So I have to draw an encounter card, unfortunately. I don't have 5 experience to cancel yet. Choose the hero controlling the fewest monsters. That hero places a new monster on any tile with an unexplored edge. Yeah, it's going to be this tile way on the other side of the board. How about that? How about that? Skeleton. Way over here. Serenity now. Yes, Yogi, I could explore, but I didn't want to. Because I could have drawn a black tile, which would be bad, because I would have still drawn encounter, and I'd have another monster on another tile, right? It would only be up here. I would have a monster up there that would 99% of the time attack me, and then I have all the other guys attacking me. So no, I don't need more monsters attacking me and that I can't deal with. But I do want to explore because we need to get out of here. I think by not running away from that original trap, I've already set myself too far behind. Also, I've explored and it's a white tile. The boss comes out here, and I know from playing before, he moves 2 spaces a turn. The boss will be up in my business so fast unless I'm ready to run. And this is gone, right? Yeah. So that's that. All right. Monsters. This guy, he is not adjacent, so he will move adjacent. Okay. An attack with a paralyzing claw. Oh, he could have mobilized me, this jerk. +7. 5 + 7. Defense. I don't get hit. I don't get immobilized. Okay, my luck is turned around a little bit. The wolf. He is going to pounce. He's going to move adjacent. And he's going to pounce on me for +7. That's 18. I do get hit for 1. I'm down and slowed. Fantastic. The trap. I'm not on the tile with the trap. Screw you, trap. The skeleton. He just moves 1 space towards the hero. My turn. I use my last healing surge. Yeah, sticking around for that trap, like, definitely was the worst decision ever. Using the wand instead. Very dumb. Or the way I put the encounter cards in there, that probably was also dumb. There's multiple things that were dumb. I'm realizing many dumb decisions all led to this moment. Of canceling that other card where I should have left it. But again, I don't know the deck, but what I'm learning is there is some replayability here for sure. Because the encounter deck has 1,000 cards in it. So the more you play, the more that certain ones might stand out to you as like, this is definitely cancelable, and I should wait till this shows up or these type of cards show up to cancel them. Because I could have canceled these traps too if I had enough experience. Maybe traps are the play. Cancel traps when you see them only. All right. So I'm back up. I have 4 HP. Yeah, we're getting wrecked. Wrecked! I think I'm gonna kill... Probably should kill the ghoul. He hits harder. Yeah. I'll just kill the ghoul. That'll get me a loot. Play this immediately. You gain a +1 bonus to AC while this item's in play. Oh my god, if I had this earlier, so many attacks, they had exactly 15 and I would have not been hit. Oh my god. I didn't even know that was a thing. Damn it. That's crazy. Puppy is faster though. Yeah, but the puppy, like, I'm just looking at the attacks, right? Like, the other guy can still catch me. I can't get away because I'm slowed, right? And I'd rather be slowed than immobilized. I'd rather get hit with 2 damage if he's adjacent instead of 3. It's still a +9 or +7, +9 or +7. So it's just, this guy hits harder. He is more experienced, but I kind of I kind of am okay. I know there's also the play of like, maybe I want this guy here so I have an equal 5 experience, so when I spend these, you don't get change. So I would have to actually spend 6 XP right now to cancel an encounter card or level up. But if I had the wolf there, I'd have exactly 5. And then when I killed the ghoul, I'd have another 2. But I might not live to see both enemies dead. That's where we're at. I don't have enough HP to survive, to be honest, like enough turns in the game. I haven't seen enough tiles. I've literally stayed still for too many turns. I just don't think the math is there. But okay. So I killed that guy. I got my loot. I'll move for, I don't know, 2, whatever. And then I'll explore up here. Okay, we got a corner. It's a white. Oh no. Well, at least we don't get an encounter card, right? So we move 5 on the sundial. And now the Baron has joined us. So he has a bunch of stuff. We don't really care. We're not going to try to fight him. We just need to run from him. So he has a bunch of stuff where he's like in mist form and things. And when he gets down to 5 HP. But really, all we're worried about right now is he's going to be moving 2 tiles towards the hero with the most hit points remaining. I'm playing solo, so he's just chasing after me. Oh yeah, and if he does attack, he's got +8s and 2 damage. And even if he misses on this one, he still does 1 damage. I don't care about him regaining hit points. We're not about fighting him in this one. I'm sure that's for a scenario later. And he'll start back here on his tile. Somewhere in the darkness behind you, you hear the sound of stone scraping on stone. It must be the sound of Strahd's coffin lids sliding open. The vampire lord has awakened. Run! Run! So he will always activate first, and then we activate the monsters in order. So stab him and we win? Yeah, I don't have any silver to stab him with or whatever, right? Yeah, I wish. Oh, he's the strongest boss in the game? And they put him in the first tutorial solo scenario? Jerks. Oh, man. Here, we can do this. All right. Monster. Wolf. Can't do a wolf. Because I already have a wolf. Kobold Skirmisher. Well, he's within 1 tile of a hero. Of course, he just throws a javelin at me. Every damn monster gets a nice little juicy shot at me. It's like I can't... It's like my flashlight doesn't see like further than 1 tile in front of me. So I'm going to go down this hall. And then every hall there's a monster like with his sword in the air ready to just whack me on the head as soon as I like step forward. Or even look down the hall. It's like, hey, you, don't look at me. Boom. I'm going to hit you. All right. +9 on this guy. +9. What the hell, man? Oh yeah, let's activate them in order though. Oh, villain first. 1, 2. Oh my god. Oh yeah, this is gone also. I'm not slowed right now, but I'm sure I will be. Next, Wolfie. Moves adjacent. Attacks with a pounce. +7. 20. +7. 1 and slowed. Yeah, like this is too much. The slowed is crazy. All right. Trap, doesn't matter. Skeleton. Moves 1 towards the hero. Kobold Skirmisher, +9. +11. +9 is definitely higher than my 16. 1 damage. I'm down to 2 left and we're dead. Game over. We can't win this. We can't win after that 1 trap came out. We got screwed on that turn. Okay. Then next. Our turn. I'm slowed. I think I have to kill the wolf, right? Yeah, I'll kill the wolf. Draw some loot. Eagle Eyes. Play this immediately. Place one tile from the top of the dungeon stack adjacent to any unexplored edge. Place any new monster on that tile as normal, but do not draw an encounter card. Oh. Okay. I'll place it on this edge. No, where do I put this? Now I want to put it here, but the problem is I don't have enough movement. I would love to get onto this tile and then explore on my turn like normal, but I think I don't need more monsters up in my business. So I feel like we're going to put it like here or something. And then we'll spawn a monster on it. Yeah, far away, right? I'm thinking of trying to make a path to get to the stairs. But yeah, I'll waste it, get it far away. Oh, I've never played against these enemies yet. Wraith Undead. If the Wraith is in one tile of you, what the it moves adjacent to the closest hero and attacks it with the life-draining claw. Look at this. 3 XP, 3 damage. I'm dead if this guy catches me. At least he only moves one tile at a time. Wow. Yeah, good thing I didn't put that there. Oh. Wow, wow, wow. I need to draw the stairs, guys, and I need to get on the stairs, and I need to survive a whole round of the enemies activating and start my turn alive on the stairs. And we know the tile was 11 down, and I've revealed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 only. I still need so many more tiles, and this guy's moving at 2 a turn. I need to just get really lucky rolls or a really lucky loot or something. All right, so that was just an item card. I'm gonna move for 2. 1, 2. I will explore. I have to, I think. Maybe not. Let me think. So this guy will move 1, 2. Yeah, maybe I don't yet. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Do I just like try to attack that guy first? Yeah, I think I wait. So I was where? I was like here. I'll go like there. This scenario teaches you to play 2 characters. Yeah. This scenario teaches you death is a part of life, yes. It also teaches you traps suck if you see them. All right. So, yeah, I'll just stay there. Oh, but then I still draw an encounter card, right? So here's how I'm thinking. If I don't draw a tile, I get attacked by 1 monster. If I do draw a tile, I get attacked by 2 monsters. But if I don't draw a tile, I get an encounter card. If I do draw a tile, I probably still get an encounter card because I haven't seen lots of black tiles. Maybe. But I also get further away from the boss. I hope. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, all right, I'll go to the edge. Let's just do it. Maybe we get a monster that misses. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna run to my death. I got this boss chasing me now. I can't dilly-dally. Okay, so unfortunately we're gonna get an encounter anyway. So let's draw that encounter card. Oh yeah, let's put the monster there first. Skirmisher, nope. Oh man. Yeah, we're getting the big guys. Elemental, gargoyle, elemental. He's another big boy. Yeah, I'm so dead, guys. I am so dead. It wouldn't even matter if I did it now or the next turn. I'm so dead. Look at this. I've never seen this many enemies out before because I usually just like move and kill, move and kill. Try to like keep it under control, you know? But that trap that just brought more enemies, I was like, that was the dumb mistake. I should have dealt with it, I think. Right away. Alright. Encounter card. Cowardly Flight. If there are no monsters in play, discard this card. Hold on, let me check. Oh yeah, there are. Okay. Draw a tile from the bottom of the dungeon stack. Place it adjacent to the unexplored edge that is closest to the active hero. So it's from the bottom, not even helping me get to the end. It's like such a troll. So unexplored edge closest to me. Technically it would be this edge, I think. Which just makes it a dead end. I think, right? Adjacent to the unexplored edge that is closest to the active hero. Place the monster closest to the active hero on that tile. And place a new monster on that tile. Do not draw an encounter card. Oh my god. Wait, which monster am I placing again? Place the monster closest to the active hero. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. He's on the tile. Yep. Get another ghoul undead. What the... Guys, I don't know what is happening. Oh, I could cancel that, right? Should I cancel that? Yeah, I probably should cancel that one, right? I think I have to. It's my only shot. I gotta cancel it. I gotta spend these and cancel it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'll shuffle this guy back in, though. Yeah, I gotta cancel that. That can't be. That can't be. Get out of here. That can't be. Go back on the bottom. Get out of here. Yeah. Run, Forrest, run. Where to? I'm just running into gargoyles and stuff. All right, we're done. We're done. There's nothing we can do, guys. Unless we get super lucky on our rolls here. All right. So encounter card I canceled. Okay. Oh yeah, it shouldn't be slowed anymore, right? Okay, counter card's canceled. Now we go to villain. He moves 1, 2. Then we go Wolfie. Oh yeah, Wolfie's dead and gone. Oh yeah, I had the wolf experience, right? I killed the wolf. Did I get loot for that? I probably forgot. But whatever. No, I probably remembered. So I'm gonna keep, I would have spent the 2 2s and a 1. I'll keep this guy for my other 2. So I do have 2 experience still. Trap doesn't matter. Skeleton moves 1 space closer. Kobold, he is going to attack +9. 1 misses. All right. The Wraith moves for 1. And the Gargoyle, if the Gargoyle is within 1 tile of the hero, yep, it moves to the closest hero's tile and attacks each hero on the tile with a whirlwind of claws. Oh, he's at 2 HP. How do I get away from this guy? Oh yeah, this should be gone too. Yeah, I have no way to do 2 damage to kill that gargoyle. He's going to get to do that over and over again. And +8, 2 damage. Yeah, I'm dead right here. Okay, so he moves to my tile. I don't know. I'll put him adjacent to me, I guess. I don't know. I don't think it matters unless I want to attack him next. So he's +8. And he'll do 2 damage and slowed. If he misses, he still hits me for 1. 12 + 8, that's 20. I am dead. Gargoyle got me. My God. Here's Johnny. And then this guy catches me and sucks my blood and eats me, and I'm dead. They have me for dinner. Wow. Yeah, so the point of this scenario, and I realized right from the beginning when I first played it, is like, you need to just keep moving through the dungeon. Even if you can't kill a monster, don't stop to fight that monster. Like, just keep going. Even if it makes more monsters, like, just go. Just go. Maybe stop when you have, like, one monster has 2 health to kill him, attack 2 turns in a row and move. But, like, you are in a race. Get out of the dungeon. And when I stopped on that one tile that kept spawning monsters, I went against everything that I learned from playing this a couple times. But I was like in awe by the traps, man. The traps were crazy. But yeah, definitely a cool game though. I'll admit it's a cool game. I realize after playing a few times, if this scenario definitely feels very one-dimensional. But I guess the monsters coming out different. I saw traps different. I've seen loot that's different each time. Definitely there's luck to it, right? Like you could see certain items that could be very OP in a scenario. The monsters, like, I guess I was lucky seeing lower level monsters after that first monster for so long, not finding these bigger guys yet. The encounters, man, holy. Like, I don't even remember to cancel encounters before, and I feel like they were never that bad. Like that was a very bad combo. Yeah. Game most voted for a table flip. I'm okay with it. Again, if I wasn't streaming this and trying to show it off and explain everything going on, you can play through this, and I have, in an hour. This game literally takes 1 hour. Every scenario, because you're supposed to always be running. And once you realize it's that kind of dungeon crawler where you're just kind of keep moving or you're dead, because the game will just keep throwing enemies at you and you'll get overwhelmed. It's like the fact that it only is 60 minutes is kind of like, but I'm kind of glad it is. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. So even though you die, it's like, oh, well, that only took 60 minutes to play or whatever, maybe an hour and a half. Oh, well. And like, I don't need to organize these tiles in any way to put them away, you know, like I don't need to put them all in a file folder, and they're all not different shapes. So it's like, it makes it less interesting of a dungeon, but it's like the cleanup and play is like kind of straightforward. But yeah, definitely luck of drawing from decks and the D20 thing, man. Ooh, I don't know, but it's as long as you don't take it too serious, the game is fun. And like, I'm okay with just having some fun. I want to play with more people though. That's really why I bought it, but so yeah, tune in next week on Thursday is right now where it's scheduled. You can find it in the playlist down below in the video description. That's where the next stream, it's already there. So you can set a reminder, or you can subscribe, turn on notifications, turn all, so you'll be notified and you won't miss a live stream. But yeah, so we will play with 3 players. I want to see, I'm sure it gets a little nutty. And the cool part is, if you noticed on my turn, it's always my turn, right? So I'm always activating all the monsters, but you only activate the monsters that came out on your turn. Like you build a little tableau of monsters in front of you. Every player at the table does. So not every monster activates every turn, but because I'm playing solo, every monster activates every turn, which is a little nutty. So I don't know, but yes, you guys are right. I definitely need more players at the table, or I should be playing with more heroes. But again, this scenario is not designed to be played with more heroes. It's a 1-player one. So, but yeah, hopefully this shows like how the game works and like what's there. But again, there's like so many little tokens and tiles. Like there's coffins and freezing clouds and treasures and time tokens and items and statuses and so many more villains. And like we only saw one villain, but there's other villains, and like villains, and like so many other miniatures. So I don't know, there's still more to explore. There's also like adventure treasure, whatever the hell that is. Some adventure focused treasure I've never played with. And yeah, the monster tokens I was talking about, like, I don't even know how things go back in the box. I'm not sure how it's all supposed to fit. But the insert looks kind of sucky, but supposedly it works, kind of. I might have to cut it or something, or throw it in the garbage. But the normal start tile, we'll see that in the next scenario. Normally you start on like this kind of tile and work your way into the dungeon versus working your way running out of the dungeon. Yeah. We had 3 more tiles to go. 3 more tiles to go to get out. Just throw the stuff back in the box any way it fits. But that's the problem. I don't want to sit there delaying time trying to figure out how it fits. And I saw people asking online, like, how does it fit? And a lot of people just make up their own way, but it's like, I don't know. It's a little messy. But yeah, I'll just dump it all in. I don't know. But yeah, I'll figure that out. I haven't put it away yet since I opened it. To prepare for the streamage. But yeah. The only issue with playing 3 characters, I know you can play 3 characters all by yourself, no problem, or 5 probably. It's just the table space of all those cards and all those areas, right? They would get a little crowded and I all want them like within reach, right? I guess you could like stack the cards a little bit or something. Kind of like keep it a little more organized. But on stream, like, it'd be like, I'd have to zoom out very far and like, you know, I don't know. It's just not a very good presentation. But yes, you definitely could play with more heroes. Absolutely. This game is not that crazy complexity to worry about that. And especially a lot of you guys who watch this channel, you play way more complex games than this, right? So, but again, if you have kids, you know, this is definitely a family weight dungeon crawler, that's for sure. I feel. But again, I would start with something like if they're pretty young, I would start with this. This is based on this system. It's a very, 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 very light version of the D&D Adventure System board game. You can find this for like 20 bucks or less. I got it on clearance. I've seen it at like Walmart and stuff. But yeah, this gives you the miniatures, a D20 system. You know, you got monsters, you're moving your way through quote unquote a little dungeon. And yeah, I would look into this if you're just trying to get some D&D fantasy stuff in your kid's life and play with them. But once they're a little more advanced, you definitely seriously, on a serious note, you'd move into something like this for sure. Yeah, definitely family weight, this one. But yeah, I don't know. But again, I went in knowing what it was. That's kind of old. It's kind of mass market-ish focused, sort of. Maybe, not really. And it's like a more family weight gateway kind of dungeon crawler. So knowing that, going backwards and pulling it out of the past and finding it and playing it for the first time in 2023, almost 2024. I don't know if I'd spend money on this normally, but for science, I want to try it because people always bring it up. I do want to play with more players before I like fully judge the game, but they're okay. But I have a feeling it's one of those things that like nostalgia is there, right? Like when this came out, a lot of people were getting into the hobby. Also, this may have helped some people through COVID times because it is solo friendly, along with the other ones in the series. Some people just love Dungeons and Dragons, so to have it, the IP used in a board game, there's many board games that use it, but to play like a dungeon crawler with your kids and your family and teach newer gamers, I can see where the attachment can be. I see where this can definitely be something that's like a special place in people's past journey through the hobby. But today, to spend money on this thing, I don't know, man. For me, it's like, yeah, it's very dated. Very dated. But again, like what replaces it? I would just recommend as entry level to people. I always would say something like Zombicide. If you want a family weight kind of dungeon crawler, look at one of the Zombicide games. The problem is those are like 100 and plus hundreds of dollars. Some of them, even just at retail, buying just a base box of Zombicide now, they get pretty pricey just because there's way more plastic and junk in it. But if you're going to play it enough, does that matter? Yeah. I still would prefer Zombicide over this, to be honest, at this point. I still would play like Zombicide Black Plague over this. And the reason why, because who I'd want to play it with, that game still has the fantasy kind of theme to it, is literally the hands full of dice you're throwing, right? In some instances. And the craziness of just the mass amount of minis piling up on the table is silly. It's silly fun. And if you're going to play something light, with a light rule set, less complex, you need the fun factor to match to it. And rolling the D20 system sucks so much. Rolling one single die, passing it around the table and rolling one die is the lamest stuff I've ever seen, ever. Lame-o, lame, okay? I've never seen a kid excited to roll a single die after they've grabbed a mitt full of dice and rolled them, right? Like that's, who doesn't love shaking up a bunch of dice and rolling them on the table, right? Rolling them in the dice tray, rolling them in the dice tower. If you're gonna play with dice luck, at least make it fun dice luck, right? And that's my opinion though, my opinion. So yeah, I still don't see why you would buy this over a Zombicide or a Massive Darkness. Massive Darkness is a little more complicated, I feel, but that's like not bad. But again, this was cheaper. This is definitely a cheaper game. But yeah, I'm sorry guys, the D20, like rolling one D20 and adding a number and no defensive dice rolling or anything, like snooze fest. Snooze fest. But again, the simplicity, playing devil's advocate on that, the simplicity is like, that's something that should be underrated when you're playing with younger gamers and you're just trying to teach them like this kind of system. But again, there's games like Mice and Mystics, right? And like Aftermath and stuff. I'd honestly probably rather play that with younger gamers than this, to be honest. Like one of those kind of story games, you know? But again, those came out after, right? So it's like they have the advantage of kind of being a little more modern, maybe. Oh yeah, get a metal D20. All right, now we're talking. Spend twice the price of the board game on a single die, and then roll that to make the game better. Get one of those ones with like diamonds all on it. Yeah. Set a watch. I mean, Set a Watch is fun, but that's not a dungeon crawler, right? That's like tower defense. Or like a horde mode. I don't know. It's not the same kind of like exploration type of game, right? Or is it really? I don't know. I don't know how I'd kind of describe that. Maybe I'm like misremembering. Oh, let the horde come to you instead of the dungeon. Yeah. Yeah, true. But yeah, I don't know. It's fun. It's cool. I don't know. It wasn't an expensive game, I don't think. I don't really remember, but... Board Game Oracle. Castle Raven? Yeah, like you can find this in, this is Canada, but like look how many stores have it in stock from 2010 game. It's crazy, right? Crazy. So it's like a 70 to 80-ish dollar game. So maybe not the cheapest in Canada. Let's switch to America. Yeah, look, you can find it in stock. Ooh, like 50-ish dollar game maybe? 50 to 60? I don't know. I don't know. Brian says, and wait for sales. I've gotten a few of them for around 30 from Barnes & Noble during sales. They carry this at Barnes & Noble? Yeah, that's why they keep printing them. They're selling them to the regular Joe Schmoes. Makes sense. Makes sense, yeah. And hey, if it's getting gamers to get into the hobby and start looking at other board games and dungeon crawlers in general, I'm all for them expanding the hobby and pulling more people into the hobby by these being at, you know, now that people have seen like the Dungeons and Dragons movie and stuff and the popularity of like Stranger Things, you know, kind of highlighting it, Dungeons and Dragons again, stuff like that, like, and just being popular in general, like it's kind of getting like mainstream again, like the RPG stuff. So the Dungeons and Dragons name comes more recognizable. People buy these board games and then they're playing these instead of like Monopoly, and I'm happy. So yeah, that's cool. I definitely see the positives there, but I'll be honest, I had fun today. I had fun. I have fun playing a game that's like, again, I'm still getting used to like the flow of it. So like, it's a little weird to me. I'm sure you guys learning this game first, then moving on to other dungeon crawlers, it's like easier to grasp. But for me, like learning newer systems that I've like learned from the past, to go backwards and play this, the datedness of it just feels like a little unnatural, the flow of the game. And it's like hard to remember, like, you know, draw an encounter card here versus when do the monsters activate, and like, but it's everything's kind of organized, so that's nice. I like the way everything's kind of explained on all the cards, which is cool, even though the cards don't look great because they don't have art on every card, and you know, but at least I'm not looking up keywords and stuff because the cards say what they do, so that's appreciative, especially for newer gamers and stuff. But I have fun being able to play it. It's not that complex. It's still a dungeon crawler. I have fantasy miniatures out. I'm getting loot. I'm running through dungeons. It's got the theme I love. And yeah, I don't know. Might be fun to build a hero, pick some cards, try again with the ranger, but tweak some of the cards. I don't know. Might be fun. Anyways, if you want to see this game again, hit that like button. But we're definitely playing it next week, multiplayer, and we'll see how that goes, because I'm really more interested. There's way more scenarios in this box that are focused on 2 to 5 heroes. So maybe if Kyle and Mel have fun playing it and you guys like watching it multiplayer, maybe we'll play like a more advanced one after we play the multiplayer tutorial scenario. I don't know. That's the thing. That's the thing. Wrath of a Shardalon is easier. Okay, guys, stop telling me I bought the wrong one. Stop it. I know I bought the wrong one. I did it on purpose. I bought the oldest one. I wanted the one with the dragon on the cover. Now I'm learning I need the Drizzt one because it has the better hero in it. So you guys are saying I have to spend another $80 twice and get all the good stuff from that game, put it in this game, and we'll fix it? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could get the one that has campaigns in it and then make a big campaign, but I don't know if anyone wants to watch me play this, a campaign of this. I want to try it, but I don't even know how I would feel after playing it a few times. But again, if every scenario has different setup, different goals, different defeats and stuff, I don't know. That would be fun, I think. Brian says you bought the first one, which is fine, but as most first editions, the next ones are better. Yeah. And again, I'm not trying to judge it. I told you guys, is it only the first scenario? It's the learning one. I know there's way more to be explored in this system. So I'm not going to be like, the game sucks. I don't want to play it anymore. I know I'm just scratching the surface. I like just play the tutorial mission. That's it. I know I have to try more. Because I know there's something here. Because if this wasn't fun in 2010, they wouldn't have made a second one and a third one. And the WizKids wouldn't have made a fourth and a fifth and a sixth and a seventh one. And people in like 2020 during the pandemic wouldn't have been buying these up to play solo. So I remember that's when people were talking about it a lot. And even to this day, people wouldn't be buying these and playing them. And they wouldn't be in stock at all the stores. And Barnes & Noble wouldn't be selling them. You know what I mean? So there's definitely something here more than just what I played. I know this. I know this. Orbicus says the more you take characters, the easier the game is. Oh, okay. I'm okay if it doesn't scale perfectly. I play games that literally are released in 2023 that don't scale perfectly. And, you know, I'm playing a game tomorrow that doesn't scale perfectly. Like, it's the thing. They put numbers on the side of boxes just to sell copies, not to make sure it's fully balanced. That's like, yeah, that's extra work. Spend time playtesting every player count equals losing money. Put number of player count on the box without testing equals making more money. What to do? What to do? Oh, me number Q says, yeah, don't go for the first edition. Look for the D&D 5th edition. That's what you should go for. Oh, I see. So I should go to my local board game store and ask them about the next Dungeons and Dragons game I should play. And I should ask them for the 5th edition version, not Wrath of a Shardalon or something like that. Oh, okay. You're not going to trick me into playing role-playing games, all right? You're not going to do it. I'm not falling for it. Anyways, everyone enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back tomorrow playing Descent, Betrayer's War, Legend of the Dark, whatever campaign. Second episode in that series. Join us for that. If you're looking for episodes in that campaign to watch before you join us live, because of spoilers and things, check the playlist section. And then we're back on Sunday, continuing our campaign of Earthborn Rangers. So join us for that if you're watching that one. There's been a couple episodes already. You can go watch that. It's in the playlist section. And again, if you're looking for more of this game or more dungeon crawlers, check out the playlist section. Check out the playlist that's linked in the video description. Subscribe, turn on notifications. We play lots of campaign games, dungeon crawling games, story games, legacy games, all these games, lots of games. We just play games, all right? And we play it live. So if you want to join us live, subscribe, turn on all notifications, and you won't miss a live stream unless YouTube doesn't want to send you a notification for some reason. Anyways, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.